down the rest of the roster. Wildcats won the toss. They deferred, and so it'll be a touchback. Utah's going to get the ball first before they snap it from scrimmage. Let's go down to Stormy on the sidelines.
Well, Dave, you mentioned those questions at quarterback. It's been an interesting situation for veteran QB Cam Rising, who's technically medically cleared for the second week in a row, but still sitting on the sideline. And talking to head coach Kyle Whittingham in pregame, he said they did announce the decision internally yesterday. Didn't want any confusion for the team coming out here, but that it remains a velocity issue for Cam. He simply cannot throw the ball how he should yet, and they want to give him a little extra time to heal up with the bye upcoming. But I will tell you, coming onto the field, Isaac Wilson broke the huddle. He led the team out here, looked very in command, and Whittingham said they have complete belief in him.
All right, thank you, Stormy. They've also got a red-hot running back in the backfield alongside Wilson. That's Mekhi Bernard. They fake it to him, and Wilson's first pass of the night is a quick completion to Dorian Singer. Well, Isaac Wilson, we've had a chance now, Brock, over a couple weeks to see him play. Your thoughts on Isaac?
Listen, I think he's done a fantastic start for just being a true freshman, making his third career start tonight. He's put some really good things on tape, but I think the biggest thing that Isaac Wilson has done, he's created belief in his teammates. When you talk to his teammates, they believe that he can get the job done and lead them to wins.
Comes from a great quarterback family. His brother playing in the NFL, Zach, was a star down the road in Provo at BYU. Under center on second and short, and Bernard was going the wrong way. Now Wilson's trying to improvise, and he takes a big hit and lost a couple yards.
Yeah, I'm not so sure the quarterback went the wrong way. There's a true freshman mistake early on in a football game. You have some jitters, lots of emotion running through your veins. I think Utah was coming out trying to run split zone to the left side, the bottom side of your screen. Isaac Wilson turning out to the right. That's a freshman mistake early on in the ball game.
And look, it's just some of the things you take for granted. Cam Rising, that's not going to happen with a guy who's in his 7th year. Isaac Wilson's in his first year, first handful of games. So the loss of a couple yards, it's 3rd and 5. Good protection for Wilson. Throws it short, and that's caught by the tight end Brant Keithy, and he turns it upfield to get the first down of the night.
Great job by Wilson, staying calm in the pocket, trusting his eyes, working through his progression. He gets to number 3 in his progression. He's working the left side of the field, 1 to 2, comes back to Keithy as his 3rd target, picking up a first down on this opening series for the Utes.
And Brant Keithy is such a weapon for Utah's offense. They got playmakers on the outside. Bernard's been excellent at running back. Keithy in the tight end room, one of the deepest in the country. Wilson play fake on first down, and he will get away from the rush for a moment, but not the second effort from the Arizona defensive line. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. So that'll be a sack and a loss of 3 on first down. Well, his head coach, Kyle Whittingham, one thing about Utah, you come here year after year, you know what kind of football you're going to see.
Listen, it's going to be physical, tough, fundamental driven. It all starts with the line of scrimmage when it comes to Kyle Whittingham football teams. He wants his offense and defensive lines to control the line of scrimmage and impose their will.
His offensive line has played so well at the start of the year. That was more of a coverage sack that time. Bernard gets the handoff and the straight ahead run for a nice gain across the 35 out to the 38.
You know, and going back to the style of football Kyle Whittingham wants to play, Utah right now, they're top 5 in the country in time of possession. They're number 4 in the country. They're holding on to the ball a little over 36 minutes per game. Well, why is that? It's because the offensive line is controlling that line of scrimmage. They're running the football at a very high clip, over 200 yards per game. And then defensively, you're getting off the field because of that defensive front.
And to your point, those numbers, they do that year after year here. But I think they're feeling like this might be one of their best offensive lines in a long time. 3rd down. Again, plenty of time. And the throw is right there, complete for a first down. That was about the protection and a good delivery to Money Parks.
Yeah, great read by the young quarterback, Isaac Wilson. I tell you what, when you talk to the coaching staff this week, they said he has the it factor, and you can see why. He's just as cool and calm as a cucumber in that pocket. You see his velocity, the accuracy, the reason why the Utes were so excited to land this big-time recruit.
Yeah, he was a great high school player here in Utah at Corner Canyon, which has produced so many players over the years. Bernard again behind Wilson, almost like a pistol formation on first down, just short of midfield. Play fake. Wilson across the middle, and that's a completion into Arizona territory. First down inside the 30. Another catch for Dorian Singer, who started his career in Tucson and is becoming a Utah star early in this season.
Well, he really is. He's really becoming one of the top wide receivers in the country, just running a basic in cut. But it was a great job by Isaac Wilson reading the defense, seeing the linebackers lose sight of the receiver Singer in zone coverage. Singer does a great job of throttling down in that zone hole. Huge pickup for the Utes.
He was good at Arizona. A little quieter at USC. His third stop, he's found a home. Bernard on first down. Big hole right side. And Traden Stukes came down from his safety spot to make the tackle, but that's a gain of 7. Utes are on the move.
Well, this is the football Utah wants to play. Little ground and pound, get some chunk plays in the pass game. You're going to see the right side of the offensive line just completely move the line of scrimmage in that Arizona defensive front. And Mekhi Bernard came into this game averaging almost 7 yards per carry, off to another great start tonight.
I hope this doesn't come across as a knock on Bernard. He's such a good player, but 7 was like the least they could have gotten on that play. I mean, that was a monster hole created by the guys up front. Bernard, this time not quite as much of a hole, and he did a good job there of picking his way forward, and he got enough for the first down.
As Utah enters into the red zone, this is an area with Isaac Wilson at quarterback they have not been great at the last 2 weeks. Now, they're getting points, but they've been settling for too many field goals. When you talk to the coaching staff this week, they say, hey, listen, if we're going to reach our end goals at the end of this year, we need to score more touchdowns in the red zone.
Good point. Already the 10th play of this game opening drive, approaching 6 minutes. And now longer than 6 minutes. Utes have had the ball to start this game. Wilson on 1st and 10. Handoff. Bernard jumps through that line down to the 15. He got 3.
You know, and this has been a very interesting strategy for Arizona and their defense on this opening series. I haven't really seen them bring much pressure on the young quarterback, Isaac Wilson. At some point, you need to test the true freshman. You need to change the coverage look pre to post snap. You need to test to see if you can see that post snap look. You need to bring some pressure to find out if he knows how to protect himself and where his hots are.
First year head coach at Arizona, did a good job at San Jose State, Brent Brennan. We saw Dwayne Aquina, the defensive coordinator. Wilson, a designed quarterback run, and he got a couple, maybe 3 on 2nd down to set up 3rd and a long 3 inside the 15.
Great job by tight end 85 Carson Ryan, the transfer from UCLA. The Swiss Army knife can do it all. See Isaac Wilson on the carry. This is something, you know, he's not going to make a living carrying the football, but he's made some huge plays with his legs. A huge play last week against Oklahoma State that really shifted the momentum in the football game.
Well, this is kind of what you were talking about. You move the ball all the way down the field. Now you're going to have to settle for a field goal try, or can he punch it in? 3rd and 3. Bernard, left side run, and Arizona was there to meet him. He got stopped at least a full yard short. This will be an interesting decision early in the game. I don't think the kicker is going to come on the field.
No, Kyle Whittingham's going to go for this one. This has been a great opening drive for the Utes. You have a true freshman quarterback at the helm tonight. This is an opportunity to take the momentum over. You hear the fans getting loud. Use this home environment, take the momentum of the game right here. I think this is a great call.
They've been excellent on 4th down. 4 of 5 last week in Stillwater. It's 4th and 2. More than 8 minutes off the clock on this game opening drive. And Bernard will get it, and he is stopped. Arizona was there. Not even close, and another play by Traden Stukes coming up from that sort of hybrid position. And not even close. What a stop by the Wildcats.
What a play by Stukes. On 4th down, gotta have it. When you talk to the coaching staff, they say he is the best kept secret in all of college football, and he showed why on 4th down.
That's a big time stop after a long Utah drive. So we're going to do that right out of the break, AO? Yeah, got it. Hey, Naveed, just for 1 sec, flip the monitor look so we can see what we look like. Just do that. This one right here. I know, but Brian loves to set it up that way, so we can do it ourselves. He does. It's a shift that can. All right, back here in Salt Lake City after a long game opening drive. Still no score. Utah and Arizona. Dave Fleming, Brock Osweiler. Great to have you with us late night. The place is rocking. But Brock, you said it on the first drive. Utah wants to control the clock. They got to be better in the red zone. They got nothing out of that drive.
Yeah, what a huge stop for the Arizona Wildcats on the opening series of the game. Utah marches down the field, but Arizona holds up in the red area, and now it's time for Noah Fifita and Tetairoa McMillan to get started on a big night.
I imagine if you haven't seen Tetairoa McMillan yet, you're going to have a chance to watch him touch the ball a lot in this one. There is the quarterback, just a sophomore, had a great freshman year last year.
Yeah, Pac-12 freshman player of the year, absolutely phenomenal, completed over 70% of his passes, but this year it hasn't been quite the same production. Tonight is a get back on track game for Noah Fifita.
Such a tough test against this team in this environment. Play fake and a little short pass to the tight end coming across the formation. Nice easy completion, and that's a first down. Key and Burnett, one of those Servite High kids. McMillan, Fifita, Burnett all played high school football together. And that's a nice start for the Wildcats offense.
It's a great start. I love the two opening play calls. Get the ball to McMillan right out the gate, and then slice your tight end across man coverage and pop him out for an easy completion.
There's McMillan, his second catch already, and McMillan turns it upfield. Sometimes he just makes it look easy. So physically gifted.
Well, listen, Utah, they love to play single high man-to-man coverage, and if they're going to continue to do that throughout this football game, McMillan's going to take advantage of it. Arguably the best wide receiver in all of college football.
If they cover him like that tonight, he might have 20 catches. Throw to the sideline, and that's complete to Chris Hunter. Well, look, Arizona, Fifita and McMillan, you're talking about two of the most famous players in college football based on what they did last year, coming back together this year. And McMillan's put up some huge numbers this season, but the Arizona offense as a whole has really struggled.
No question. They're just sputtering. They're really struggling to get into sync, and a lot of that is because outside of week one, Fifita and McMillan have yet to really connect like they did last season.
Kedrick Risano in the backfield. He'll turn it upfield. Nice hole along the sideline, and tripped up, goes out of bounds, but into Utah territory, and then some, all the way down to the 30.
It was a great block by big number 71 Savaiinaia, going to be a potential first-round pick coming up in this year's draft. Risano does the rest.
Now they're stopping things.
Previous play is under further review.
Got our referee microphone turned on so we could hear that announcement. That's David Alvarez, Big 12 referee tonight. So I'm sure that the only question is,
Checking to see if the runner stepped out of bounds.
did they get the spot correct?
What is?
I mean, I think he stayed in until they spotted him out. I think that was a good spot.
Yeah, I agree, Flem. I think the spot is right. What a great start for this Arizona offense. Defense holds up in the red zone. They get you the football back right away coming out of the bye week, right? You want to start fast. You work on a lot of things. You do some self-scout. You clean some things up. Fafita coming out, hitting on all cylinders, offensive line. And then Risano, known more as a physical running back in between the tackles, showing off his speed in the open field.
Ole Miss transfer. Wally Conley has been the top guy for the Wildcats at the running back position so far this year, and I don't think we've seen him yet on this opening drive. Rayshawn Luke was the guy who started the drive in the backfield. So whether that means there's something going on with Conley or what, we'll have to see how it plays out. Risano, though, as Brock said, nice run there on the right side. Let's see what the officials upstairs
After
think.
review, the play stands.
I mean, yes, it did. Yes.
I'm with you. I think it was a good call the first time. Let's play some football.
The only question was, like, did we spot him 2 yards too far forward? So we're starting off tonight. We are going to be precise. 1st and 10 Wildcats on the move. Their first drive of the game. It's Rayshawn Luke in the backfield with Noah Fafita. Fafita dumps it to Luke short right, and he goes out of bounds and lost a couple yards. Let's go down to Stormy.
Well, and Dave, you guys talked about how this offense hasn't clicked at the same operation that it had last year. Well, Noah Fafita told me this week he wanted to use the bye as an opportunity for a necessary reset. He said his primary focus was dialing into the details with his reads, with his feet, and playing more within the system. He said, if there's an easy completion, I need to take it, especially in a building like this.
There's Dino Babers upstairs. He's the offensive coordinator with this brand new staff in Tucson. 2nd down and long. Fafita had time. He's going backwards, though. Throws off his back foot, but found McMillan, who came back to help him out. And got some positive yardage there when he was going the wrong direction.
Wow. You think those two have some chemistry? It goes all the way back to Pop Warner with McMillan and Fafita. Great job with Fafita staying in the pocket, keeping his eyes down the field, remaining a passer, and McMillan did a tremendous job on the scramble drill, getting open for his quarterback.
You are right about the chemistry between those two. It's amazing. 3rd and 6 here. 8th play of the drive. Fafita's a perfect 6 for 6 to start this game. Now Conley is in for Arizona. They get the play snap. No. Flag thrown.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 59, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Tapa Totai, Rhino Tapa Totai, the left tackle, moved early. It is not easy to communicate here in Salt Lake City.
No, and especially for a young player, just a redshirt freshman making his 3rd career start tonight. One of the toughest venues in all of college football to play in.
So now 3rd and 11. Pressure comes. Fafita dumps it to McMillan, who makes the catch and then got hit hard. What an open field tackle. Alakai Gilman. That was a heck of a play. It's 4th down.
Fantastic play by Gilman coming up from his strong safety position. First of all, let's credit McMillan with this unbelievable one-handed catch. And then Gilman just coming out of the middle of the field like an absolute missile. Played a tremendous game a week ago on the road at Oklahoma State. And starting off tonight on that same note.
Arizona's got a kicker with a huge leg, Tyler Loop. So this is well within his range. 47-yard try. Arizona looking to get on the board first, and that kick is up, and it is good. Man, does he have a leg. High up in the net from 47 yards out. So Arizona stopped Utah's long drive and then gets a field goal their first time having the ball. They've got the lead in Salt Lake City.
ESPN College Football is presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. 19 hotel brands, one loyalty program. Download the app. And in part by the PGA of America and our more than 30,000 PGA of America golf professionals. We love this game. ESPN College Football is presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. ESPN College Football is presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. 19 hotel brands, one loyalty program. Download the app. And in part by the PGA of America and our more than 30,000 PGA of America golf professionals. We love this game.
Last year, these two teams are both in the top 25 in the Pac-12. Of course, they met late in the year in Tucson, and Arizona took it to the Utes last year. That's been a topic of conversation here in Salt Lake City with Kyle Whittingham and his team. They've used that result last year, I think, for a little extra motivation. But so far, Arizona off to a good start. A field goal, and they lead 3-0. We've had two long drives, so you know what that means. Kickoff, touchback, a break. We'll come back to Salt Lake City in just a couple minutes right after this. All right, Matt, thank you very much. That's a big win for Penn State. They stay undefeated. Utah is trying to stay unbeaten and in the top 10. They had the ball for a long time in their first drive, but did not get any points out of it. Arizona moved the ball down the field themselves and kicked a field goal. So it's 3-0 Wildcats. Utah's second drive of the night. The freshman quarterback Isaac Wilson under center. Bernard gets the handoff, right side run. And outside the 30 for a gain of 6. How about our bear paint game plan, Brock?
Well, listen, for Utah, control the line of scrimmage. You have a true freshman making his third career start. His best friend tonight is a good running game. Defensively, don't let Fafita get comfortable. Change the pre and post snap picture, blitz him, get him off of his spot. For Arizona, win the turnover battle. Create some short fields for your offense. And then offensively, you have to continue to be great on first and second down so that you're in third and manageable situations in this tough environment.
And I would say for the Wildcats, you almost treat that stop on fourth down like a turnover. They were good on first and second down when they had the ball. That's a completion for Wilson. Another catch for Dorian Singer, who looks primed to have a big game. Gain of 12.
I'll tell you what, I am very impressed with the start for Wilson tonight. That was a RPO, a run pass option. Listen, if Arizona's going to load the box, he's recognizing the one-on-one matchup outside with Singer. He's going to continue to take that all night. He's already done it a couple times. I am so impressed with how he can read the field and get the football out of his hand quickly.
Everybody's expecting Cam Rising to come back and take the reins of this team, but they're also excited about his future here. We haven't had an incompletion in the game on either side.
It's impressive.
First and 10, play fake, pressure comes. Wilson scrambles, turns his body. What a throw! Singer with the catch inside Arizona territory.
Tell you what, Wilson's getting comfortable out.
Closer to the red zone here. What do you need to see to capitalize this time?
Well, we got to finish drives. That's the whole key. And we can't bog down in the red zone. We moved the ball up the field and ended up, they made a nice play on 4th and 2. That was absolutely the right call. I don't believe that we kick a field goal there. Second drive in process right now. We got to finish this one, bottom line.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks to both of them. First play of the second quarter, Utah, a little screen pass to Dijon Stanley, the sophomore running back, for 9 yards.
Yeah, known for his speed. I understand why you want to get the football outside to Stanley in a tunnel screen type situation. It's basically like a glorified punt return.
So now Bernard back in on second and just a yard. Isaac Wilson under center. And making a change at the line of scrimmage. Handoff, Bernard, first down, inside the 30, down to the 27. Well, WNBA playoffs continuing tomorrow. Pair of semifinal game ones. 3 Eastern on ABC. Rematch of last year's finals. The Liberty hosting the Aces, and then at 8:30 on ESPN, it's the Sun and the Lynx. Been a great playoff so far. Semifinal games 1 tomorrow. Huge crowd, another sellout, 86th straight sellout at Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City. But their 10th ranked Utes are down 3-0. Bernard again in the backfield. Wilson will throw, and he had a man and he overshot his intended target. Grant Keithy, incomplete. I know that was Dallin Bentley. One of the other tight. They got a lot of tight ends on this Utah team.
Yeah, they do, and they have a lot of good tight ends. That was a great read by Isaac Wilson. Unfortunately, the football just got away from him.
Defense, number 23, lined up in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
But that penalty flag, offsides on Arizona, means the play doesn't count. It'll be 1st and 5. So that negates what would have been the first incompletion of the game. It's kind of unusual to have a DB line up offsides.
You can tell Wilson, he knows he had it. He had Keithy for a touchdown. Did a great job of manipulating the middle field safety with the pump fake. Came back to a wide open tight end. Just fired it a little high.
Part of the field where Utah has struggled. Bernard, handoff left side, bounces it left, cuts it upfield, all the way down to the 10 to about the 9, where it's going to be 1st and goal.
What a phenomenal job by that left side of the offensive line. Flem, I think you could have even ran through that hole. Mekhi Bernard getting to the second level before a hand is even placed on them. Tell you what, when this Utah offensive line, when they get in sync, when their communication's right, they're as good as any front five unit in the entire country.
Let's not push it.
You don't think you're making it through that hole?
No. Well, I'm not getting 10 or 13, whatever it was. A 13-yard game. First and goal. Bernard, right side, got through the first attempt at an arm tackle, down to the 6. I mean, is there something more you'd like to see from Utah in this part of the field to maybe open things up a little bit?
You know, it's just finishing the drive, and it's a young quarterback at the helm last 3 weeks, making his 3rd career start tonight. And sometimes when you get to that red zone, you get a little juiced up. You're anticipating touchdowns, but also with that, the windows get smaller. You know, the field condenses in the red area. And so as a young quarterback, your timing has to be excellent. Your accuracy has to be excellent. This is an area Wilson will grow in.
Yeah, Keithy, who's usually such a weapon down here, already has 4 touchdown catches. Wilson rolling left, still looking to the end zone, and now he's going to throw it away. And that was the right decision. It'll be 3rd and goal.
That was excellent coverage by Genesis Smith and Takario Davis on the outside. Utah just trying to run a little man-to-man pick play on the outside and get a free, wide-open wide receiver for the young quarterback. But the defensive backs give him a ton of credit. They played the pick play well, forcing the 3rd and goal.
First incompletion of the night for Isaac Wilson. But same scenario here for Utah. Long drive, 8 plays, almost 70 yards, but facing 3rd and goal.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer you have to find your best players in these moments. Keep an eye at the top of your screen for Keithy.
Wilson looking towards Singer. Now some other options. Running. He's going to try to scramble, and he won't get there. Defender down for Arizona. That might be Traden Stukes, who slowed him up enough. Uiagalelei ended up getting him on the ground. Wilson limping around. Well, he got to the 1, so it's 4th and goal from the 1, and Kyle Whittingham is going to have another decision to make.
Well, first of all, give a ton of credit to the Arizona defense. Nowhere to go with the football for Wilson. Wilson does the next best thing. Rather than trying to force it into coverage, gets outside the pocket and picks up some positive yards.
That's one of Arizona's best players on the ground there, Stukes. Hopefully he's all right. 4th and goal coming up when we come back.
The correct spot after the last play was the 2-yard line.
right, back here in Salt Lake City, where Utah trying to finish off another long drive. Second quarter. They went for it on fourth down first drive, didn't get it. And they're coming out. Isaac Wilson, their young quarterback, got stopped at the 2. They changed the spot. He was banged up, holding his side, but he's in the game, going for it again. Mekhi Bernard, the tailback, on 4th and goal. Play fake, throw, knocked down, incomplete. Incomplete. And a great play by Tacario Davis. So Utah, 2 long drives and not a single point to show for them.
What a tremendous play by defensive back Tacario Davis, 6'4", on the 6'7", 250-pound tight end Caleb Lohner, former basketball player from Baylor. Tacario Davis is having none of it. Great stop by the Wildcats.
I mean, that is stunning.
Unbelievable.
And we fully support flipping back and forth between games. After Utah went for it on 4th and goal and did not get it, Arizona pinned deep at their own 2, but with a 3-0 lead here in the second quarter in Salt Lake City. Noah Fafita under center is going to hand the ball off, and a gain of a yard maybe. Quali Conley with the carry. It'll be 2nd down.
Tanuvasa did a great job up front from the defensive tackle position. 6'4", 300 pounds, causing the initial disruption. Got Conley off his initial track to force the 2nd and 9 backed up.
Well, part of the decision when you go for it in this part of the field is even if you don't get it, the other team's offense is not in a good spot. We'll see if this Utah defense can take advantage. Fafita in the end zone, looking to throw left side into double coverage, incomplete. Trying to find his, I mean, it undersells it to say his security blanket, Teteroa McMillan.
Yeah, I like the call by Arizona. It was just missed time. They were trying to hit a double move down the sideline with Teteroa McMillan. Utah's defense known to play a lot of single high man coverage. However, that time there was safety help there on Teteroa and nowhere to go with the football.
So now a stress-filled 3rd and 9 from Arizona's own 3-yard line with all the noise here. Fafita just going to hand it off right side, and an initial surge, not a bad gain, a little cushion, but stopped 3 yards short of the first down at the 10. So it's going to be 4th down, and I would imagine that with that little extra cushion, the Wildcats are going to punt the ball away.
I think that was a really good decision by Brent Brennan, the head coach for the Wildcats, to run the football there on that 3rd down situation. I know as a fan you want to pick up a fresh set of downs and keep your offense on the field, but backed up, you got the student section yelling as loud as can be. Give your punt team some room to operate here. I think that was a great decision.
Micah Pittman is standing right about at midfield. The punt game has not been great. This is Michael Salgado Medina. They've used 3 different punters already this year. And that one kind of a line drive punt that is returnable for Pittman, but great coverage on special teams. What an open field tackle. I think that's Rayshawn Luke, the running back.
This is phenomenal coverage.
I guess there's a reason they call him Speedy. He was motoring down the field. So a good special teams play. Back to Salt Lake after this. Oh my goodness, what a game. Thank you, Matt. That kid's 17 years old. Utah ball after the punt. Wilson across the middle. He's got his man caught in stride. Another catch for Dorian Singer. And here we go again. The Utes right back into scoring position. There is a flag on the play. Maybe. I don't know. I don't see a flag.
I think we're rolling, Flem. No flag. Great play by Singer and Wilson. Tell you what, I am so impressed with how Wilson is seeing this football field early in the first half. And you can definitely tell Singer is his go-to target, and he has a great comfort with him.
This is amazing, though. Utah moving the ball and still no points on the board. Now a throw on the move and another throw and catch to Dorian Singer. Down to the 11-yard line, 14 more yards through the air.
Tell you what, that is so impressive. Dorian Singer is covered the entire time, and then at the last second runs by middle linebacker Manu and is there to make a terrific catch. But I love the location of the throw by Isaac Wilson. If he doesn't put that football right on Singer's face mask out in front, that is going to be an incomplete pass. What a great connection by those two.
I mean, it's midway through the second quarter, and Dorian Singer, the former Wildcat, has 6 catches, 100 yards. Wilson, designed quarterback run, and sort of plows his way down to the 6. That's interesting with the rib injury that he had a few minutes ago, or whatever it was.
I think Singer has a little motivation for this game tonight.
I do believe he does.
Former walk-on down at Tucson. Former Arizona Wildcat, first team all Pac-12 wide receiver back in 2022 before he transferred to USC. Kind of got lost in the shuffle a bit there last season, but he is certainly the go-to target here in Utah.
Utah was thrilled to see him pop up in the portal. 2nd and 5, 2 tight ends go in motion. Bernard in the backfield on 2nd down. They can get a first down at the 1. Bernard is not going to get to the 1. He'll get to the 5, maybe a little inside there. Uyangalele led the way. Another tackle for him. He did. We were talking about Dorian Singer. He played alongside Teteroa McMillan. McMillan's freshman year, and McMillan was brilliant. You could see all the talent, but Singer was the main guy in 2022.
Gosh, those two on the same team, you know, as they've developed, and you look where they are now, certainly 2 of the best wide receivers in the Big 12 Conference, if not the entire country.
Well, here we go again for the Utes. 3rd down and a long 3. Bernard and Stanley in the backfield. Wilson is going to throw, and it's incomplete. Good coverage again. Davis on Money Parks, and now 3rd time they're not going for it. The field goal team's coming out. Amazing job by Arizona's defense.
That's right, just absolutely amazing. 3 red zone trips, low red zone trips by the Utes early in this football game. Arizona's defense holding up. You heard some frustrated fans just a second ago. But listen, there's nowhere to go with the football for Isaac Wilson. You got to give a lot of credit to the Arizona secondary right now.
23-yard try for Cole Becker, who's been, I think it might be fair to say, a little up and down so far this year. No problem on that one, though. So the first points of the game for Utah, 3 different times they've been inside the Arizona 10. They've piled up 180 total yards. They're averaging 6+ yards per play. And 3 points, that's all they have on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and then let's throw on top of it time of possession. Utah over 16 minutes with the football in their hands to just Arizona's 6 minutes and change. If you would look at that alone, you would say, hey, Utah probably has 14, 17, 21 points on the board. But like I said, give a lot of credit to this Arizona defense. They've been bending. They've been giving up some yards down the field, but holding up strong in the low red zone.
All right, so Arizona's offense getting ready to come back on the field. While we have a minute here tomorrow, and by tomorrow I mean it's not that long from now, just a few hours from now, 10 a.m. Eastern, NFL Countdown crew gets you caught up on all the early breaking stories, injury updates for the games right up until kickoff. And then we got another Monday night doubleheader, 7:15 Eastern on Monday, Titans and Dolphins on ESPN. And then the Seahawks and the Lions from Detroit, 8 Eastern on ABC, ESPN Plus. 3-0 Seahawks. They've been really good.
Geno Smith off to another great start up there in Seattle. You're right, that offense is looking really good under Ryan Grubb.
That's a good game. Ryan Grubb's old head coach trying to fight for a win in Tuscaloosa right now. The bouncer goes into the end zone for a touchback. So that time of possession so lopsided as Brock was just talking about. See if the Wildcats can sustain a drive here. 16.5 to 6.5 roughly, with just under 7 minutes to go until halftime. But Brent Brennan's defense in the red zone has done a phenomenal job tonight. So the game's just tied. Rayshawn Luke is going to start this drive in the backfield with Fafita. Arizona trying to get lined up properly. They do get the play snapped, and Fafita throws one caught by McMillan across the middle, and he'll get spun forward for an Arizona first down.
What a great route by Teteroa McMillan. I love what Dino Babers does. He sends him in motion, creates a stack concept versus man-to-man coverage, which creates softness in that man defense. And then Teteroa McMillan goes to work on the option route.
They're going to find him again on the right sideline. McMillan wrestled to the ground by Zamiah Vaughn, who's got a tall task here tonight trying to follow McMillan around the field. How about the two standout wideouts who were teammates a couple years ago? Singer, 6 catches, 101 yards. McMillan already has 6 catches for 50 yards.
Well, those two are certainly worth the price of admission, given an early show here in the first half. It's been a lot of fun to watch those two go to work.
Riscano in the backfield with Fafita under center, and they'll hand it to him left side. Gets around the corner and surges ahead into Utah territory for another Wildcats first down.
You know, we talked about it early in this football game. Arizona, their offense seemed to be sputtering. They didn't seem to be in sync the first couple weeks of the season. This is the offense we remember from last season. Success in the pass game, physical run game, explosive runs, quarterback, gun, under center. Arizona's coming out hitting on all cylinders tonight.
Riscano again will get it. Big hole up the middle, and then he makes a move inside the 20 with a stiff arm all the way down to the 10. What a run.
Keep an eye on number 60. Alexander Deuce does a phenomenal job at the point of attack, along with Rhino, number 59, to create a huge hole for Riscano.
36 yards now, quick to the line of scrimmage, and the quick completion. Montana Lamonius Craig got upended. So 2nd and goal coming up here for the Wildcats. You're right. This looks like the offense that put 42 on the board against Utah last year.
Absolutely. This is the offense that the Arizona fan base has been looking for all season long. Riscano getting loose in the run game. Fafita feeling very comfortable, making deliberate, quick, decisive decisions from the pocket. It's a good look for the Wildcats early on.
Second and goal. That one out to the left side, and no. Flags thrown, and I say 2nd and goal. They can get a first down at about the 1, but that play, they blew it dead before it got started.
Delayed game. Defense quicken up our movements, which caused the offense to move. Half the distance to the goal. So 2nd down. The number was 77.
Okay, so they call Simote Pepa for that delay of game on defense.
Yeah, disconcerting signals. Anything that is abrupt, excessive, trying to simulate the snap of the ball to get the offensive line to jump off sides is now a foul.
2nd down inside the 5. Quali Conley in the backfield now. He will get it. Conley bouncing it right side. Conley got down close to the 3. A lot of effort for a yard or 2. It's 3rd and goal.
It was a very physical run by Conley. Brent Brennan said this week Our details and physicality need to be excellent. I have seen the physicality out of the Wildcats early on in this football game. I've seen the physicality. Now, can they punch it into the end zone for 6?
And technically, again, I said 3rd and goal. They can get a first down right near the goal line. Fafita takes a snap, rolling right, throws, caught, touchdown, Jeremiah Patterson. And the Wildcats get the first touchdown of this game.
What a drive by Arizona. You hear how loud this stadium is. It's deafening. Fans are on their feet, yelling, screaming. That was just a phenomenal drive. Great job by Patterson, trying to sell that he's about to run across the field on a shallow cross. That's a very fast motion. You get the defenders rocking towards the field, and then you come out the back door to the short side of the field, which is why he was wide open.
Incredible drive. 7 plays, 75 yards against a stout Utah defense that just suffocated Oklahoma State for most of the game last week. Now the extra point coming for Tyler Loop. Kick is up, and it is good. So 10-3 Wildcats with 3:17 to go until halftime. This is ESPN College Football presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. On a beautiful night in Salt Lake City. Had record temperatures around the state of Utah today. It was up in the 90s. Couldn't be nicer for some Saturday night football under the lights. Fans all wearing black. The Utes on the field wearing black. I think everybody here is a little stunned by the way this game has unfolded. Utah's done a lot of good things on offense, but only 3 points. And the Utes defense has watched Arizona move the ball.
That's exactly right. Listen, Utah undefeated, 4-0. Big win on the road against a top 15 team last week in Oklahoma State. So expectations are very high. Where Arizona, their previous game before the bye week, they got blown out against Kansas State. Offense was sputtering, didn't look good. Wasn't the offense of last season. Fafita didn't look like he was in control. But tonight, they are changing that narrative, and the Wildcats are firmly in control of this football game.
Kickoff into the end zone for a touchback. And really, I think the 2 key plays, Brock, of the night so far have been the 2 4th down stops for the Wildcats defense.
No question. Listen, Utah's offense, they've done some great things. They've driven down into the low red zone 3 different times and only came away with 3 points. You have to give a lot of credit to that Wildcats secondary. They're coached by one of the best defensive backs coach in the entire country, and Dwayne Aquina, defensive coordinator, has been doing that at a high level for a very long time, and you can see the attention to detail in his defense.
Probably one of the great DB coaches in the history of college football. Dwayne Aquina and his 2 best guys, Stukes and Davis, making those 2 big plays. So Utah has the ball again. Wilson is pressured, and he's going to get sacked. Well, he held on to the ball for a long time. And Stanley Tafo'o got him to the turf.
There's a nice little TE stunt between Tafo'o and Trey Smith coming off the edge, number 3. Great job working in tandem. Smith drawing all the attention from that defensive end spot, which is what allows Stanley, big number 47, to capture the edge and force the sack on first down.
2nd sack already for the Wildcats, and Utah leading the conference in sacks, and they've been menacing in terms of their pass rush. They don't have a sack yet in this first half. 2nd and long. Handoff. Bernard bounces it left. Mekhi Bernard gets wrestled to the ground, trying to take it to the sideline. There's Davis with another good play, because that had a chance to be a big gain. Now you got another player down. Nope, a timeout, Arizona. So the Wildcats want to stop the clock, which I don't blame them. It's 3rd and 9 coming up.
Arizona, their first of the half.
Brent Brennan's feeling confident with his offense. He's feeling like if we can get a stop, we can get another score.
Absolutely. That is very, very good clock management by the first-year head coach, Brent Brennan. Understanding that if they can get a stop here, get the football back, you have a chance at a 14-point swing here. Don't forget, Arizona gets the football to start the 3rd quarter. So if you can get a huge stop here on 3rd down, get the ball back to Fafita. He's playing really good right now, making sharp, quick, good decisions. You can pick up some points before half. You want to talk about a momentum shift, you're going to hear a quiet stadium.
Good point. This has a chance to be a great sequence for Arizona. We'll see. Next week we got 2 SEC games on ABC Saturday, noon Eastern. Top 25 teams, number 11 Missouri down in College Station to play Texas A&M, and then the oldest rivalry in the South, Auburn and Georgia at 3:30 Eastern. Another heartbreaker for Auburn at home today against Oklahoma. That's next Saturday on ABC. So 3rd and 9. Our clock is running. The game clock is not running, and that one incomplete. Keithy targeted, and the pass was a little too high, so the clock stops. 2:17 to go until halftime. It's 4th down. Arizona has managed this very nicely and set themselves up to have a great swing between first half and second half.
Yeah, I think that was a really good decision by Dwayne Aquina to bring pressure on that 3rd down, force the true freshman quarterback into making a quick decision. He had Keithy. He was open. His tight end was there for a first down. The ball just sailed on him once again. I love that Aquina is testing the young quarterback.
Bomeester will punt it. Patterson, the return man. Patterson gets hit hard at the 30 and goes down. Flag back closer to the original line of scrimmage. So for now, it's actually decent starting field position for the Wildcats. Remember, they have a kicker who's got maybe the strongest leg in the country. We'll see, though.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 10, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So that hurts. Makes that field position not quite as comfy. They'll go back to the 20-yard line with 2:07 on the clock. Arizona's got 2 timeouts. They have the 2-minute timeout. Basically, they'll get a free timeout after likely this first play.
Yeah, Arizona has all the time in the world. Full playbook is at their disposal. I'm interested to see, though, how does Utah's defense play Arizona right now? Do they come out in their traditional middle of field close, single high man coverage and challenge the wide receivers at the line of scrimmage? Or do they play a softer zone and try to keep McMillan and the rest of the Wildcats in front of them?
Big drive at the end of this first half. Fafita from the shotgun. They set the screen pass up, read by Utah, but then the missed tackle. And a gain to the sideline from Speedy Luke. They call him Speedy. Rayshon got to the sideline and got 8 yards when it could have been
This is the 2-minute timeout.
a big-time negative play. Instead, 2-minute timeout. Arizona's got the ball, looking for a 2-minute drive in Salt Lake City. Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. Final 2 minutes of the first half from Salt Lake City. Number 10 undefeated Utah is down by a touchdown, and the Arizona Wildcats have the ball. Coming up on our Lexus halftime report, a lot to talk about. I have a feeling they're going to be focusing on what just happened in Tuscaloosa. Arch Manning, another good game for him. Big upset in the SEC. Handoff left side, huge hole, and a big run for Conley. And I tell you what, Brock, if folks are flipping over to us, having watched that game in Tuscaloosa, the Arizona Wildcats offense, which had not been performing at a high level, has looked great.
No, they looked absolutely phenomenal tonight. Whether they want to do it in the run game like you saw how the offensive line won at the point of attack. But Noah Fafita, 12 of 13 on the night, already a touchdown, and Tedero McMillan already 6 catches. This offense is fully in sync and completely in control of this football game.
It's a huge drive, because Arizona gets the ball to start the second half, trying to put points on the board and then get it back right away. Fafita dumps it short left to Conley. Conley cuts it middle and got gang tackled inbounds. Clock moves.
Flem, you just said it best. You don't want to call it a gotta have it drive this early in the football game, but you just said it. Arizona has a chance to go up 17-3 into the half, get the football back. Utah is not built to play from behind, especially with a true freshman quarterback.
Fafita rolling right, and he's going to throw it away. Good coverage downfield. So now third down, and a chance for the Utes to get a stop. It's going to get loud.
Yeah, you're going to see why Rice-Eccles Stadium is one of the best environments and venues in all of college football. Their fan base, they know they need to stop. They need to get the football back to their offense with a chance to get points before halftime. Wait till you hear this crowd.
36-3 Utah is at home over the last 6 or so years. 3rd and 10. Pressure comes. Fafita gets away. Fafita running for his life, throws it downfield, and it's incomplete. He had 2 receivers, the 2 Servite guys, McMillan and Burnett. It was like a high school game broke out here in Salt Lake. It's 4th down.
Well, when in doubt, Kyle Whittingham and his football team, they're going to bring pressure in these situations. They bring pressure, nowhere to go with the football early on in the play. Noah Fafita didn't have an outlet, but he did a great job of getting outside the pocket, keeping the play alive. But credit Utah's defense and their secondary for getting off the field and getting the football back to their offense with an opportunity to get points before half.
That's a huge stop. So you got Pittman back there as the return man for Utah. And the punt was almost blocked. Then there was contact made with the punter. The ball's going to angle out of bounds. So we'll see on 4th and 10. Michael Salgado Medina, Utah almost got a piece of it.
Well, this is going to be huge, because if it's roughing the punter, it's an automatic first down. If it's just running into the punter, then it's only a 5-yard penalty, and it'll remain 4th down.
That did not look like a personal foul to me, personally.
I agree.
Just kind of clipped the ankle.
Running into a punter is just when the punter is displaced.
Running into the kicker. Defense, that penalties decline. 1st down, Utah.
So that's exactly what it was. Now, it was a well-executed punt, particularly considering all the pressure on Salgado Medina, because Utah's got the ball at their own 7-yard line. And this will be interesting, Brock, whether the true freshman quarterback Isaac Wilson, who's really played well, Utah has 3 timeouts, but whether Kyle Whittingham is willing to let his offense try to go get some points here.
I think you're going to find out a lot about how Coach Whittingham and the rest of the staff feel about the young quarterback. There's plenty of time to go get points. You have 3 timeouts, over a minute left on the clock before halftime. There's more than enough time, but also you have a true freshman quarterback at the helm tonight, making his 3rd career start. You would also understand if they do a couple handoffs and elect to go into halftime and regroup.
Cam Rising all week long. Utah was trying to get him ready. He came and warmed up again tonight, but they made the decision yesterday internally that Isaac Wilson was going to be the guy again. And overall, he's played well. The story for Utah has been in the red zone. They have not turn their drives into points. Throwing on first down across the middle, and a perfect delivery outside the 20 on the first down. The clock will stop. That's Brant Kuithe, the tight end.
I love that anticipation by the young quarterback. He lets that football go well before Kuithe's head is turned around.
I think we have our answer about the confidence level. Quick hitter, left side. That one tackled inbounds, and Utah probably needs to use one of those timeouts. They will. That was Singer again. He's had a huge first half. His 7th catch for Utah, but a play that only gets you a couple yards, and you have to burn one of those timeouts.
Timeout, Utah. The first of the half, 30 seconds in length.
So just a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Utah trailing 10-3. This season, Allstate will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate. Arizona's got a kicker who's a huge weapon. Utah's kicker, Cole Becker, he's got a leg, and we're 4,000 feet or so above sea level, so it's a good kicking environment. Maybe not quite as much of a weapon as Tyler Loop, but you're figuring that Utah has to get the ball down somewhere close to the 35-yard line to have a realistic shot at a field goal.
That's what I'm thinking, Flem. You get to the 35, you have a good shot at 3. Anything outside of that, just probably a little bit too far for your kicker.
And we apologize for our clock on our graphic. For some reason, we can't get that right. It's 43 seconds. Clock was stopped on the timeout across the middle, and another catch, but then the ball comes out. Kuithe, and they'll say incomplete. Kuithe is down on the turf. He had it, and the ball came out, but they're ruling the pass incomplete, that is a break for Utah, because that was going to be a fumble recovered by Arizona.
It's a rare drop by Kuithe, who's down on the play. Give a lot of credit to Genesis Smith
for an injury to an offensive player.
Stepping in for the injured Traden Stoops, making a great play to punch that football out.
And Brant Kuithe is so talented, but has had such a hard time in his career staying healthy. You hope that he's all right. That was pretty close to a catch.
It was really close. Just like its coach, though. Genesis Smith gets his left arm around Kuithe, punches it out with his right.
Well, you think that's a play that they might take a look at?
I don't know why they wouldn't.
There was a little bobble. Then it looked to me like he kind of tucked it in and took at least a step forward. The senior from Katy, Texas, who's made so many big plays over the years for Utah.
3-time all-conference selection.
Already has 5 touchdowns this year, 4 receiving touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown.
Yeah, he's been in the Wildcat quarterback position for the Utes a couple times this year.
All right, he's going to sit up. That's a good sign. He'll hop up and head to the sideline, but not looking 100%. I'm sure they'll give him a more thorough check during halftime. Well, I guess we did not review that play because it's 3rd and 7, 35 seconds on the clock.
If I'm Arizona here, I'm going to bring some pressure on the young quarterback. I think Isaac Wilson's played a really good game, but when he has been under duress in the pocket, the football's floated on him a couple times.
3rd down and 7, Utah. Pressure comes, the throw, and what a catch! Beautiful. That's Pittman, Micah Pittman. And now Wilson has to peel himself up off the turf after taking a hit. 21 yards. Utah hustled to the line.
Unbelievable throw and catch. Big number 3 Trey Smith, 6'5", 270 pounds, hitting Isaac Wilson right in the face.
So they're going to review that catch. Pittman, I guess there was some question whether he came down with it cleanly. Man, no question about the toughness of Isaac Wilson. He is hanging in there tonight.
No, that was big-time football, Flem. I had just said Wilson had struggled a little bit under pressure. But I tell you what, every time he steps foot on that field as a true freshman, he's going to get better and better. Stares down the pressure and fires an absolute dime down the field to Micah Pittman. I mean, that football could not have been put in a better location for Pittman to make a play.
I mean, it's allowed to touch the turf if you still have control of the ball.
That's right, full and complete possession. The ball cannot move as it makes contact with the turf.
From that angle, it's really hard to tell. He cradled and tumbled over with the ball in his hand, though.
When you got to remember, the initial ruling on the field is a catch. So without indisputable video evidence, you're not going to be able to call this an incomplete pass.
After further review, the ruling on the field of a catch stands.
Yeah, and I mean, it was close. I see why they took a look at that one, but I think he caught it. I think that's a good call.
I agree. I think the officials got that one right. What a play by Micah Pittman and a perfect throw by Isaac Wilson.
So now the clock is obviously a factor. 29 seconds. You got 2 timeouts, Utah does. Needing at least another 15, but maybe more to get into realistic field goal range. Ball snapped. Wilson throws over the top, and it's incomplete. Good coverage that time. Intended for Pittman again.
It's fantastic coverage. Genesis Smith ran the route for Pittman. Just Arizona coming out in man-to-man coverage. Isaac Wilson doing a great job of recognizing he has a big box fade, a man-to-man opportunity to push the football down the field. Just wasn't able to connect.
You said Genesis Smith's name a couple times in this first half.
Well, and he's really stepping up because he's stepping in for the injured Traden Stukes. He's one of the heartbeats of the Arizona defense, one of the best defensive backs in the entire country. But Smith is really stepping up.
Stukes got injured in the first quarter, went to the locker room. 21 seconds. Wilson, plenty of time this time down the sideline and contested incomplete. Wow, what a catch, but out of bounds. Singer came down with the ball, but it's incomplete. 3rd and 10. Emmanuel Carnley had the coverage. They're showing it on the big board. Utah fans thought there should have been a penalty. They might be right.
No, I think that's a good no call. Defensive back didn't get his head around, but he did not affect Singer from catching that football in bounds. I'm just so impressed with this Arizona defense right now, playing man coverage in this 2-minute situation, challenging the Utah wide receivers.
Play clock is all the way down to 1, and Utah is going to have to burn one of their timeouts. And you see the Utah players trying to tell their fans. There's Stukes, who's got the pads off, so that probably tells us with a brace on his right knee, he's not coming back in this game. I think Utah was having a hard time communicating, and that forced them to burn their second timeout. So now, with 15 seconds on the clock, 1 timeout, you need to get the first down. There's a lot to think about for the young quarterback. Again, a reminder, 2 SEC games on ABC next Saturday. Missouri and Texas A&M at noon Eastern, and Auburn, Georgia. Georgia, we'll see how they bounce back after an incredible comeback and then falling just short in an all-time classic game tonight in Tuscaloosa. So that's next Saturday. Meanwhile, here, Utah's undefeated record is definitely on the line. The Wildcats are playing their best game of the year by far.
Keep your eyes at the bottom of the screen. Singer versus a redshirt freshman cornerback.
3rd down. Pressure comes immediately. They throw towards Singer. It's incomplete. Wow, the pressure is starting to get to Isaac Wilson. Trey Smith this time right in Wilson's face. It's 4th and 10. And with the clock at 8 seconds, you probably have to punt the ball away. I guess you could run one long play, try to roll your quarterback
Clock
out.
Operator, please present the game clock to 10 seconds, please. 1-0.
So 10 seconds now. Kyle Whittingham's trying to strategize here about how to play this out. And I think with 10 seconds, he may send the punt team out there.
Oh, 100%. You can't risk giving the football back to Utah at a place where they can throw a Hail Mary, potentially try a long field goal. This is 100% a punt situation, but give a lot of credit to that Arizona defense. Getting off the field, challenging Utah's offense that series, playing a lot of man coverage, bringing pressure, and the defensive end, Trey Smith, the big fella off the edge, really making his presence felt that drive.
They get the punt off. Fair catch signal, and the catch made outside the 10 with the clock showing 4 seconds. Probably the Wildcats will just come out and take a knee. And Utah fans, you can hear some boos. I think they're booing the officials still from that last sequence, but I think they're also just generally shocked at the way this game is playing out so far.
Shocked and probably frustrated. You know, you're coming off a week last week where you go on the road, true freshman quarterback starting. It was a game time decision, but you beat the number 15, top 15 team in the nation in Oklahoma State, and you really controlled that entire football game into the final 5 minutes. And tonight you're just sputtering. You can't get it going. You're moving the ball on offense a little bit. You're not capitalizing on touchdowns, but give a ton of credit to Arizona. They came to play. Prevent any points from happening on the board. And that's what Arizona's done all night. They keep making plays in the secondary. They're challenging the Utah wide receivers, the young quarterback, Isaac Wilson. And that's why they're up 10-3.
And they get the ball to start the second half. Let's go down to Stormy Bonatoni.
Well, you mentioned those red zone issues. Kyle Whittingham, when I spoke to him at the half, was none too pleased. He said the bottom line is we should have 21 points right now. We have 3. Whether it's execution, whether it's needing more creativity in the play calling, whatever it is, we have to get it fixed this half. And talking to Brent Brennan as well on the San Jose side, we talked so much coming into this game about the importance of them matching Utah's physicality. He said defensively they have been playing tough and physical. They worked really hard on their eye discipline during the bye week, and it's shown good results. As for the offense, Fafita's efficiency has made a huge difference. He just told them to do your job one play at a time.
It's been working so far. Thank you, Stormy. Conley in the backfield, and he will get the carry on the first play of the second half, and not much room to run there. Van Fillinger, who's been quiet, I think, relatively in this game. He's the big sack man, the big playmaker on the defensive line. He did not make much of an impact in the first half.
Yeah, Fleming, I think a big reason for that is because of how quick Noah Fafita is getting rid of the football. He understands how elite the Utah defensive front is. He's not going to hold on to the football tonight.
So second down and 9. Rayshawn Luke left the backfield, so it's Fafita all alone back there with plenty of time. He'll throw, incomplete. Nobody was there. Right away, a 3rd and 9 for the Wildcats out of the locker room.
Well, in a pivotal 3rd and 9. This is a situation, the Utah offense, especially with a true freshman quarterback playing tonight, they're not built to come from behind. They can't get down 17-3 here. So this is a moment where the defense needs to step up and get off the field.
Fafita. Utah brings some pressure, but it got picked up. Going deep. It is intercepted. No. Incomplete. What a great effort outside by Cameron Calhoun. He almost picked it off. It's incomplete, and Arizona's going to punt the ball.
What a huge stop for the Utes defense coming out from halftime, forcing a 3 and out. That's a true freshman covering Teteroa McMillan, arguably the best wide receiver in college football, running in phase, making a play on the ball. Great play by Cameron Calhoun.
So a 3 and out for the Wildcats. Micah Pittman is back deep around the 25, depending on how this special team sequence goes. Maybe it was beneficial for Utah that the interception wasn't actually made. Low punt, fair catch, but it bounces, and that's going to take a very favorable Arizona bounce on this turf. Inside the 20, all the way down to close to the 16-yard line. Well, Utah's offense will come on the field for the first time here in this second half. Here's how it went in the first half. You were just talking about it. 64 yards, 13 plays, no points. 10 plays, 73 yards, no points. Finally a field goal. And then a couple short drives with punts at the end of them.
Yeah, and really the key is the first 3. All 3 of those right down there around the 5-yard line, give or take. And to only come away with 3 points. That's why Kyle Whittingham said to Stormy, hey, we should have 21 points on the board right now.
A 57-yard punt with no return after the bounce. So Wilson will hand the ball off left side, and that's Mekhi Bernard cutting it upfield, making a couple men miss. And a nice run for the guy who's had 3 straight 100-plus yard games coming into tonight.
I think that's a great opening call in this second half for Utah. settle in the young quarterback, right? Making his 3rd career start. Give that football to Bernard. He's averaging almost 7 yards per carry on the season, 11 carries for 68 yards tonight. Get that ground game going in the second half so the young quarterback can lean on it.
You got one of the better offensive lines probably in all of college football. Wilson on first down, play fake, gonna throw it, back shoulder kind of throw, incomplete. Another play well defended by Tacario Davis, trying to get the ball to Singer.
I like the decision by Wilson. He finds the one-on-one matchup outside. Arizona playing press man coverage with Tacario Davis, the 6'4" corner. The location of the football just has to be farther outside so Singer can make a play on the ball, but give Tacario Davis a ton of credit for the pass breakup.
He's a big defensive back, isn't he?
It's huge. He's huge, and it's his size and the way he's able to run and how smooth he plays, which is why a lot of NFL scouts are starting to talk about him being a potential first-round pick.
Now a quarterback run play for Wilson. I don't know if that was just a busted play and he tried to make something of it or what, but he takes a big hit at the end of it and only got a yard. I don't know if it were up to me if that would be a big part of my game plan.
No, listen, Isaac Wilson, he's athletic. When he tucks the football and decides to run, if there's space, he's going to hurt a defense. He's got some good wheels on him, but quarterback designed run within the tackles, that's not his forte.
Passing down here, Wilson, remember, he started the game 7 for 7. He's gone 5 of 14 since then, as Arizona's defense has made a lot of good plays. Plus, they've generated some real pass rush. Play clock down to 2. They get the play snap, throw across the middle. That's caught and then dropped. And maybe just give credit to the defensive back there. I think that was Emmanuel Carnley for ripping the ball away. Intended for Singer. It's 4th down.
Tell you what, this Wildcats secondary led by Dwayne Aquina, defensive coordinator, they came to play tonight. What a great pass breakup by the redshirt freshman Emmanuel Carnley. Seen a couple plays like that by the Wildcats secondary tonight. You think it's a surefire catch for the Utes, but they're getting their hands in there for the pass breakup.
It's a good point. That's the 6th straight incompletion for Wilson. I think a lot of those have been pass breakups, true pass breakups. Booming punt way back inside the 10. And good coverage. Wow. What a flip of the field by the Utah special teams unit. Terrific coverage after a monster punt. And so the Wildcats field position is not going to be great when we come back to Salt Lake City.
The new 12-team college football playoff begins December 20th on ESPN.
Yeah, that's how I get by.
The new 12-team college football playoff begins December 20th on ESPN.
Yeah, that's how I get by.
The new 12-team college football playoff begins December 20th on ESPN.
Yeah, that's how I get by.
The new 12-team college football playoff begins December 20th on ESPN.
Yeah, that's how I get by.
Well, season framed by something totally new, and even games like this, I think, you talk about what it's going to feel like, look like. 5 highest-ranked conference champions get automatic bids. 4 highest-ranked conference champions receive first-round buys. That's huge. You have to win 3, not 4 games to win a title. Arizona's offense on the field, bad field position. They try a little misdirection, and Utah was not having it. A loss of 2. The ball ended up in the hands of Jeremiah Patterson, but well defended by the Utes.
Yeah, that was a great job by Logan Fano on the outside, number 0, working from the defensive end position, avoiding the block, getting to the backfield, forcing that football back inside. Great start to the Utes on this series.
After Utah's defense forced a 3 and out to start this second half. Now 2nd and 12. Fafita in the end zone. Fafita moving sideways, going to throw across the middle, and the pass was caught. Man, a contested catch by Burnett, the tight end. That's a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and about 7.
What an unbelievable throw and catch. This is exactly what a coach never wants to see. Rolling left, throwing back right across your body. You're backed up in your own end zone. But Noah Fafita, he's a playmaker. That's what he does, and that was a great catch by Burnett.
3rd and 7. Dangerous part of the field for the Wildcats. Conley moves in the backfield alongside Fafita. Fafita going to throw over the top. It is delivered perfectly, and a catch right along the sidelines to Burnett for a big first down.
That is as good as it gets from a throw and catch standpoint. That is big league football. Noah Fafita standing tall and strong in the pocket, keeping his eyes down the field, and delivering just an absolute dime to pick up a fresh set of downs.
There was only one window there for a completion, and he got it to his tight end for 21 yards. They're going to stop, though, and make sure that the tight end Kean Burnett was inbounds. I thought he was, but we'll take a look.
Yeah, to the naked eye, it sure looked like it was a catch to me. Foot inbounds. We're going to see here on the replay. Boy, Flem, I think his right foot is down when he initially possesses the football. Ball in hand, foot down. Now, does he possess the football? Does he control it all the way through the catch?
Let it roll through. I think he does.
That's a first down. What a play.
Great play.
This is the Fafita Wildcat fans had not seen the previous couple weeks. But he has dialed. His footwork is great tonight. He's delivering the football on time with accuracy.
After further review, the willing of a catch is confirmed.
Yeah, so they stopped and looked. But back to your point, this is not how Fafita and this offense looked through the first 3 weeks. I know week 1 against New Mexico, they put 61 points on the board. McMillan had the monster game, but the numbers have been down. The performance has been down. This is the guy expected to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
The bye week helped get this football team healthy, but it also helped get this offense back on track.
So 1st and 10. Conley gets the handoff. Huge hole up the middle. Conley across the 45, tripped up there. There have been some big holes in the run game. That's 17 yards for Arizona.
Well, Fano, the defensive end, comes flying up the field, which only leaves one other person there, Barton, the linebacker, to make a play. But Rhino, the left tackle, redshirt freshman, gets up to the second level, gets his hands on the big linebacker. What a great start to this drive, and this offensive line is picking up right where they left off in the first half.
This is a Utah team that shut down Ollie Gordon last week. Arizona is averaging 10 yards a run tonight. Okay, the average is going a little down, but they still got positive yardage across midfield. That's Caden Luke, the fullback.
Listen, I'm impressed, to say the least, by the physicality that the offensive line and defensive line for Arizona that they're bringing tonight. We heard it all week. When you watch press conferences, when you listen to the coaches speak, they say, listen, we have to match Utah's physicality, which is not easy to do, but they are matching it tonight and even exceeding it at times.
Utah's averaging 3 yards a rush. Arizona's averaging 9 yards a rush. And another big play on the ground. Rayshon Luke this time, and it's been Risano, Luke, Conley. I mean, it's not just one guy. Everybody's had success.
Yeah, just a great job in the gap scheme by Arizona. You're going to see a couple pullers on this replay. Great job of cutting the defense in half. You get a couple kickouts, and that creates the huge gash in the defense for Speedy Luke.
They started this drive at their own 7. They converted the 3rd down from deep in their own territory. And now it's first down at the Utah 35. Play fake, Fafita rolling. He'll plant, take a hit, and throw it away. Intended for Olsen, the tight end. It's 2nd down.
Good decision by Noah Fafita. Nowhere to go with the football. I like what Dino Babers was trying to do there. Get his quarterback outside the pocket. He gets the sense that the Utah front, they're getting ready to tee off in a pass rush situation. That was a great call, but credit Utah's secondary. Nowhere to go with the football.
So 2nd down and 10. McMillan alone on the left side. He's been pretty quiet since a big start to this game. Handoff right side. Conley tripped up. Got to the line of scrimmage. No more.
Great play by Lander Barton, number 8 from the linebacker position. Great job of scraping over the top and forcing the 3rd and long situation. Keep an eye at the top of your screen. Barton doing a phenomenal job, and now the Wildcats face a 3rd and 10, and the fans are ready to make their presence felt.
Clock moving, under 8 to go, 3rd quarter. Fafita zings one out to the left, incomplete, trying to hit Patterson. And I think some pressure was already impacting, even though that was a quick release. It's 4th down, and remember, Arizona's got a field goal kicker with a huge leg, Tyler Loop. So he's going to come on the field and try to add to this 10-3 lead.
Great job by the Utah defense. You gave up a couple first downs. You were getting gashed in the run game. But you force a 3rd and long. You do a great job getting off the field and limiting the damage.
Made one from 47. This one will be from 53 for Tyler Loop. Kick on the way, and my goodness, this guy's got a monster leg.
Wow. He'll be kicking on Sundays. Unbelievable.
Sounds a little different coming off his foot. That was like an explosion. And the field goal good to make it 13-3 after a 10-play, 58-yard drive. Brent Brennan's happy with the end result. Hitting the net like from 70. I mean,
it's unbelievable. Top flight security.
All right, it's time to take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Prudential. Already 2 top 10 teams have lost that classic game in Tuscaloosa. Georgia goes down. Ole Miss, that was a real upset against Kentucky at home. And I tell you what, Brock, number 10 Utah, undefeated in that AP top 10. They are in danger here tonight.
Yes, they are. Arizona's bringing it. And listen, it's that time of year, right? You get into conference play, these things start to happen. The thing that really stands out to me is the Ole Miss-Kentucky game. Mark Stoops and his ball club going down there to the Grove, getting a win. And don't forget, they had Georgia on the ropes just a couple weeks ago. So very, very impressive win for Kentucky.
Kickoff after the long field goal was good, and that one almost goes through the uprights on the kickoff. So Utah's offense back to the field.
Well, Isaac Wilson tonight, true freshman, making his 3rd career start, had some ups and downs. 2nd play of the game, turning the wrong direction when he goes to hand off the football to the running back. Early game nerves, common for a true freshman quarterback. Missed a couple open throws that could have led to touchdowns. He's made them in prior weeks, needs to make them tonight. And then you got to give a lot of credit to the Arizona defensive front 7. They've been putting pressure on Isaac Wilson from the first series of the game, getting after the young quarterback, really testing him. Does he know where his outlets are?
Spins right on 1st down, going to throw on the move, intercepted! An interception. What a play by Genesis Smith, who's having a huge game. He's the 2nd stringer. Their star, Trayden Stukes, is injured on the sideline, and Genesis Smith is playing like Stukes.
What a play by Smith. You said it. Having a heck of a ball game tonight, making play after play. You see the look on Kyle Whittingham's face. He just can't believe it. Isaac Wilson throws it right to Genesis. Good call getting the young quarterback out of the pocket, trying to get him comfortable. Listen, the wide receiver's open on that sideline comeback, but as a young player, you have to learn. Sometimes you got to put a little extra air on those throws to get it above that curl flat defender. But credit Genesis Smith. What a change of events for the Wildcats.
So now the Utah defense has to come right back on the field. Fafita with Conley alongside. Arizona trying to take advantage of that turnover. Pressure, setting up a screen, and it's intercepted. No! Oh my goodness. In the hands of Fillinger on the tip, and it hit the turf and rolled away. That was almost insane.
Well, how do you beat pressure? Utah's bringing pressure, so Arizona tries to dial up the screen, but the big defensive tackle, Junior Tafuna, gets a hand on the football. Just not able to reel it in for the interception.
It was so close. The offense was coming on the field. The defense, everybody on the field thought that he finished that catch. And he just couldn't quite do it. I mean, there was actually some confusion there.
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity for the Utes.
Ruling on the field is an interception. 1st down.
Whoa. Now, wait a minute. Okay, so there's a reason the offense was running out there. I just saw it the one time. I don't think that's an interception.
Well, I'm with you, Fleming. I'm running on the naked eye right now. The question is, as Van Fillinger goes to the ground with the football, does he maintain complete control and possession of it, or does it move as it goes to the ground?
I mean,
I don't think he ever had clean, full possession of that football.
That is, I mean, it's an incredible effort, great play, nearly so, but I don't think that's an interception. Ball was moving the whole time. I don't think he ever really truly secured it. And then it squirted out. You saw that line judge come in from behind, and he was waving incomplete all the way.
Yeah, great effort, but you said it, Flem. Never fully possesses the football, never has control of it. Bounces when he hits the ground. It's going to be an incomplete pass.
I mean, I'd be really surprised if that one isn't overturned. I was surprised that they made the call the way they did on the field, because the initial ruling was no from the line judge. Then they talked about it and had a little group huddle and decided it was an interception. So that's why we've got the review going here. Gerald Austin is the replay official. David Alvarez, our referee on the field. A little frustrated. Let's see.
After review, the defender did not complete the process of the catch. It's incomplete. Second down.
So no interception. It'll be 2nd and 10. We almost had turnovers on back-to-back plays.
A sudden change. Utah turns the football over. Arizona now has the football in plus territory, and you really get the sense that in a lot of ways this series can determine the football game here. If Arizona goes up 20-3, the Utes are not built to come back from a deficit like that.
If Arizona gets a touchdown here, Utah is in huge trouble tonight. They're in trouble already as it is. Wildcats have come to play. Luke motions through the backfield. Fafita, here comes the pressure, spins away. Fafita now going to scramble, and he will run and run out of bounds. Running is not a huge part of his game, but he did a great job avoiding a sack.
Did a phenomenal job. Defenders for the Utes coming everywhere. Kyle Whittingham deciding to send a corner blitz from the boundary side. Fafita felt it at the last second, was able to scramble outside the pocket to avoid the sack to keep it 3rd and manageable. Expect Utah to bring more pressure here in this gotta-have-it moment.
On that replay, you saw Teo Johnson had good coverage on McMillan. 3rd and 7. 4-man rush. Fafita incomplete. Took a hit as he threw. Again, looking the way of the tight end, but nowhere close to a completion. So the Utah defense, good job holding after the turnover deep in their own territory. And the field goal kicker, Tyler Loop, will come back out onto the field.
Just a 4-man rush on that 3rd down play by the Utes, but great job getting to Noah Fafita, getting him off of his spot, forcing him to throw the football away, and potentially holding Arizona to just 3 points on the sudden change turnover.
That kick is up, and it's good. Chip shot doesn't even begin to describe it with his leg from that close. So the turnover leads to 3. Arizona's got a 13-point lead. All right, we honor those who serve. Brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. And tonight we salute Carl Churchill, Utah alum, served 21 years in the Army, retired in 2006, awarded a Bronze Star during combat in Iraq, and co-founded Alpha Coffee with his wife. They send coffee bags to deployed troops and veteran-focused nonprofits. We salute Lieutenant Colonel Carl Churchill. The Utes are very proud to have him count among their distinguished alums. Utah football, this has got to be a shock to everybody here inside Rice-Eccles, the way Arizona has taken charge of this game. After another field goal coming off a turnover, Utah's offense with the freshman quarterback Isaac Wilson. Last pass went for an interception and led to the field goal.
Well, listen, you're going to find out a lot about the young quarterback, what he's made of, what's his makeup, how does he handle adversity, can he take that interception from his last series, can he flush it, turn the page, move on, and help get his ball club back in the game, or does he compound with mistakes? This will be a very pivotal drive.
We'll see if Utah tries to get the ground game going again. 5 for his last 16, Wilson. Both quarterbacks have cooled off after hot starts. Bernard being pursued, and he'll get wrestled to the ground. Got a yard on first down. I think Arizona was probably thinking the same thing I was.
Well, listen, this Arizona defense's pursuit to make that Desert Storm defense very proud. You're getting 11 guys to the football tonight, just flying around, being very physical, very technique sound, staying in their gaps. This is a defensive unit that's putting on a great performance tonight.
And we've highlighted the defensive backs, and Dwayne Aquino, one of the all-time greats as a position coach. He's the coordinator, and they've made a lot of great plays, but the front has as well. Bernard gets a carry on second down and gets a block, cuts it upfield, and almost gets there. Nice run for Mekhi Bernard. Brown gets another tackle. It'll be third down and a yard. And this becomes a very big play for Utah.
Yes, it does, but this is exactly where the Utes want to be on third down. When you're in third and short, you have the ability to run the football. You can roll out and bootleg, get the football to the perimeter, or potentially take a shot if you view this as 4-down territory, which I don't think they do. A lot of options at Utah's disposal right here.
Kyle Whittingham has been frustrated all game over on that sideline. He knows this is a big play. On 3rd and 1, and a first down and more outside the 40. So Utah converts that time. Got 7 when they needed 1.
Great job by the interior 3 on that offensive line for Utah. Great job on the initial line charge. And then Mekhi Bernard doing the rest, finding the crease, one cut, getting vertical to pick up a fresh set of downs for the Utes.
I mean, it's easy to forget Utah's got a lot of players who've been around for a long time. Mekhi Bernard, who started in the Rose Bowl as a defensive back because they had so many injuries. He's a guy who's waited his turn. He's been banged up. Play fake. Wilson, all kinds of time. Deep middle, and that one's almost intercepted. He threw it into double coverage. Davis got a hand on it, intended for Singer.
Well, Wilson got lucky there. I like the hard play action fake. I thought he did a great job with that sell and run. But a young quarterback, if you're going to throw a post across the field, you have to know where the backside cornerback is, and that's where Tacario Davis, #1, comes into play. He has no responsibility. There's no receiver on the backside of the play. Davis does a great job drifting in there for the pass breakup.
Another pass defended by Arizona. They're piling up the pass breakups tonight. It's 2nd and 10. Isaac Wilson is still looking for his first completion in the quarter. Hasn't had one. Bernard takes the handoff and a short gain, just a couple of yards. I say Bernard, I think that was Mike Mitchell. Came into the game to get the carry.
Trey Smith did a great job from the defensive end position. Had to really play the zone quarterback read there. Did a great job scraping down, making the play on the running back after Wilson handed the football off.
You saw Dwayne Aquino with the headset on, one of the characters of the game, and really good at what he does. Bernard back in there on 3rd down. Arizona jumped. The hard count, and they jumped. That changes things, assuming that penalty is against the Wildcats. Everybody points at everybody else in a spot like this.
Offside. Defense, number 46, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Great job by the young quarterback, Isaac Wilson, using his hard count to draw a free 5 yards here. Tell you what, Flem, 3rd and 3. I don't care how long you've been playing the quarterback position, looks a lot different than 3rd and 8.
And now you're in the part of the field where probably Kyle Whittingham is telling his longtime offensive coordinator, Andy Ludwig, you got 2 plays to get these 3 yards.
I think you're exactly right. Don't be surprised if the Utes run the football because of that mentality.
Bernard with a receiver in motion, takes the handoff. Nice cut. Bernard with some power finish to that run. He's not the biggest guy, but he sure played big on that one. That's a first down, Utah.
He played very big. He had Trey Smith come in, who's 270 pounds, who made the initial contact on him, and Bernard got him to fall forward for an extra yard or 2. Very impressive by the senior running back out of Long Beach.
So clock continues to move into Arizona territory. Part of why you've been saying all night Utah's not really built for the comeback is it takes them a while typically to get down the field. Now Wilson kept it, and that was not a good decision. He goes backwards, lost a couple yards.
Well, once again, it's that zone read scheme. The quarterback has the option to pull the football and keep it himself. He was kind of caught in no man's land with the read with Trey Smith coming off the edge. Smith didn't really give a clear indication if he was going to take the running back or the quarterback. When in doubt, though, young quarterbacks hand it off to the running backs. They're built to run the football.
Cam Rising out again tonight, so it's the freshman who's been running the show, and Utah stuck on 3 points despite probably playing better on offense than that would indicate. You got Charlie Vincent in the backfield this time. He's going to catch the swing pass, and then the ball was knocked away. Another pass breakup for Arizona. I mean, seriously, they are getting their hands on the ball over and over again.
This is the most impressive performance I've maybe ever seen out of a secondary. The pass breakups just keep happening every other play for Arizona. Give them a ton of credit tonight. Showing up here in a tough environment, bringing their A game.
It's the 8th straight incompletion for Wilson, but a lot of those have been in the hands of his receivers and then knocked away.
This is potential 4-down territory. You don't have to get it all here on 3rd and 12. Just get some sort of positive play to allow your coach to go for it on 4th.
Across the middle, pass caught by Keithy, and now we'll see. Good open field tackle down to the 44-yard line. It'll be 4th down coming up. Chase Kennedy with another good play.
When on the field, his progress was stopped. 4th down.
Yes, it was. He didn't keep running to the end zone. Progress was stopped. The ball came out.
That is great quarterback play by Isaac Wilson. He understands the situation. It's 3rd and 12. I don't need to get it all. Coach is probably going to let me go for it on 4th down. Let me just find a quick completion. That is what he did to put his team in 4th and a manageable distance.
0 for 2 on 4th down tonight. They need this one big time. 4th and 6. Wilson steps up, throws, and knocked away again. Another one. Tacario Davis got the hand around and batted it down. Intended for Singer. Just an amazing performance tonight by the defensive backs of the Wildcats.
It's unbelievable. There's a reason why Tacario Davis is being talked about as a potential 1st-round pick. This is good on good. This is Dorian Singer, Utah's best wide receiver, on the 6'4", 190-pound defensive back Tacario Davis. Great job by Isaac Wilson manipulating the pocket versus pressure, staying alive, getting that football out. But that Arizona Wildcats secondary, wow, what a performance tonight.
Yeah, incredible. That's another drive of 5+ minutes for Utah that ends up without a point on the board. That has happened a bunch of times tonight. And that's just good defense by the Wildcats. So they take over. Final minute 22 of the quarter. Noah Fafita is going to scramble and run. A penalty flag thrown, maybe a holding downfield on an Arizona wide receiver. So we'll see. Arizona's abandoned the run game. They were gashing Utah on the ground, and now all of a sudden they're throwing every play.
129 yards on the ground tonight for the Wildcats. So impressive against this Utah defense. They don't give up 100 yards rushing in any game, let alone at home in this stadium.
Let's see what the call is.
Here with the run, holding, defense, 10-yard penalty from the end of the run.
Wow.
An automatic first down.
So defensive holding, not against Arizona, against Utah. So about an 8-yard scramble, and then add 10 yards to the end of that. Inside the 40.
Number 9 was a hold. Here we go.
Number 9, Elijah Davis, called for the hold. They showed it again up on the, you hear the crowd reaction because they got this massive video board and they keep showing these replays in the stadium. Utes fans are not only cranky, they're getting anxious about what's going on here. Wildcat almost direct snap to Fafita under center, and Risano takes the carry left side. So that's a short gain on first down, but the Wildcats on the move here.
This is a pivotal drive. Can Arizona deliver the knockout punch right now? If you score a touchdown, if you're the Wildcats and you're able to get this football into the end zone on this drive, you know, you're really putting Utah out of reach in this football game. The Utah defense, I know that they understand that. I expect a lot of pressure and man-to-man coverage to challenge the Arizona offense this drive.
Fafita swings it out right side. That's Conley with a blocker out in front to the sideline. Arizona first down inside the 30, down to the 26.
Well, speaking of pressure, great job by Fafita recognizing the field pressure that the Utes brought from the second level. As quarterbacks, you're taught to throw into pressure. Fafita finds the hole in the defense, which is why it was such an easy pickup for the Wildcats. Nobody was there to account for Conley.
That will be the final play of the third quarter here in Salt Lake City. It's been 7 years since an unranked team came here and beat Utah. Arizona 15 minutes away from doing just that.
Coach Brennan, you talked all week about the importance of matching Utah's physicality. How physical has your group been tonight?
I think we're excited about where we're at right now, but we also know we got a lot of football left to play, right? We got the fourth quarter. That's where games are decided. And so we got to continue playing with that physical edge and make some plays in this quarter.
What is it going to take to close this out?
We're going to have to put some more points on the board and also show up on defense. But I love the way our kids are playing. They're flying around, having fun, playing for each other. That's where we want to be.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Brennan, you talked all week about the importance of matching Utah's physicality. How physical has your group been tonight?
And welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. What an opportunity for Arizona. We start the fourth quarter in Salt Lake, 16-3. They lead the 10th ranked Utah Utes. Stormy with Brent Brennan just a moment ago.
Coach Brennan, you talked all week about the importance of matching Utah's physicality. How physical has your group been tonight?
I think we're excited about where we're at right now, but we also know we got a lot of football left to play, right? We got the fourth quarter. That's where games are decided. And so we got to continue playing with that physical edge and make some plays in this quarter.
What is it going to take to close this out?
We're going to have to put some more points on the board and also show up on defense. But I love the way our kids are playing. They're flying around, having fun, playing for each other. That's where we want to be.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, you can love the first play of the fourth quarter. What a play by Teo Johnson, and on the field ruled as an interception.
What an unbelievable momentum shift. Keep an eye in the middle of your screen. Arizona's going to go on a hard play action. You're going to see all the linebackers bite up, and you have a tight end running down the middle of the field, wide open, ready to deliver the knockout punch to the Utes. Instead, Fafita trying to push the ball down the field to Teteroa McMillan, his go-to target. And Johnson going up to make the game-changing, momentum-swinging play for the Utah Utes.
Oh, my goodness. Two things, great interception, but you're right. There was a receiver wide open in the middle of the field. And Fafita tried to force the ball to his star wide receiver and paid the price. First turnover of the game. Now Utah, they have to get some points here. Their offense has been stymied. Isaac Wilson, the quick hitter. Money Parks with the catch, got spun around and hit hard. They'll give him forward progress out to the 24-yard line. Emmanuel Carnley, he's played big tonight. He's sort of normally a backup. We talked a lot about Takario Davis and the job he's done. Genesis Smith, been everybody.
Yeah, it really has. It's kind of been a by committee back there. Playing a phenomenal football game in that secondary. This is a big moment for Isaac Wilson, the true freshman quarterback. Down a couple scores in the fourth quarter at home. Can you put together a scoring drive when your football team needs it?
Bernard in the backfield. Wilson throws it, and that one tipped up and almost intercepted. Wow, Parks, it was a low throw, and it ricocheted off him, and Davis almost picked it off.
Yeah, I think Wilson kind of got away with one there. Davis was there to make the play. Ball was a little bit low. Intended for Money Parks. That's a throw that Isaac Wilson, when you have a receiver running towards the sideline, ideally you want that football up high, up by his eyes, up by his face mask, so it's an easy catch for the wide receiver. Just a little bit low and away.
Well, Isaac is struggling. It's not all on him, but 11 yards passing since halftime. Facing 3rd and 5 here. Pressure got picked up. The throw across the middle. That's complete to Keithy, who makes one man miss and then gets wrestled down at the 40. Big first down for Utah.
Brant Keithy working on Genesis Smith, the nickelback for the Arizona Wildcats. Just in a one-on-one situation, Arizona elects to bring a single dog pressure, one linebacker blitzing from the second level, which leaves man-to-man coverage outside. Keithy winning on the quick slant.
And Keithy limped off the field. Now trying to get it together so he can get back in the game. Bernard with Wilson under center on 1st and 10. Bernard gets the carry straight ahead, stacked up, and surges forward to get about 3 on 1st down. I don't know, Brock, if at some point, I mean, it's still almost a full quarter to play, but you're down 13. I don't know if the tempo might not need to pick up a little bit for Utah.
You know, I don't think it needs to. You're only down 2 possessions at this point. You have the entire quarter to play. As long as you put together a good quality drive here for Utah, head down, you have to get a touchdown. You got to stop settling for field goals. There's plenty of time to play. Get your defense back out there on the field to get a stop.
And I'm sure now thinking 4-down territory for the rest of this drive, maybe for the rest of this game, depending on the score. 2nd and 7. Wilson in the pocket. Wilson's going to throw deep middle, and Singer jumps up and snatches it. "37 yards down the field."
What a great job by the young quarterback, finding his go-to wide receiver, Dorian Singer, matched up on Takario Davis, who we've been talking about all night, making play after play. Isaac Wilson just throwing a friendly ball to his wide receiver, allowing the 6-foot, 181-pound wide receiver in Singer to go up and make the play that Utah's been looking for a couple quarters now.
141 yards tonight for the former Arizona Wildcat. 1st and 10, Utah at the 20. Wilson back to pass. Wilson, touchdown! That's the old hoopster, Caleb Lohner. One-on-one from 20 yards out. And Utah is back in this game, his 3rd touchdown of the year. A guy who hadn't played football until this year. He'd been a college basketball player for BYU, for Baylor, and a good one. Decided he wanted to try football, and he may one day play in the NFL.
Yeah, what a great story for Caleb Lohner, but even better throw by Isaac Wilson, finding the one-on-one matchup. Lohner at 6'7", 250 pounds, just a complete mismatch in the red area, especially when you have a smaller cornerback covering him. Reminds me a lot of Jimmy Graham. You get that basketball comparison, you see the size, see the athleticism. What a play by the Utes.
He's got 3 catches in his football career. He's got 3 touchdowns in his football career. That's a good ratio. So the tight end helping the young quarterback. A drive that Utah needed big time back in the game. But after kickoff. Okay.
We'll have to give Isaac some love next time we get a chance. That was a big-time answer by a young kid.
Yeah. We never got a good replay of what you were talking about. A first-year football player, Caleb Lohner, gets the first Utah touchdown of the game. And the Utes are back in it. Camera's starting to shake a little bit. Rice Eccles has come to life after a had-to-have-it drive for the Utes. And they get in the end zone, cut the lead to 6. Arizona's going to get the ball back, and they are going to bring it back. Jeremiah Patterson with the return. Penalty flags thrown. He gets to the outside across the 40, and it's, I think that was the kicker who actually drilled him out of bounds. Trey Coleman, who's the kickoff guy, but I think this big return is coming back. You got 2 different flags out in the middle of the field.
Gotta love it when the kicker sticks his nose in there and lays the wood.
That's how you win over some teammates.
Make Pat McAfee happy.
Spend practice over there just kind of on your own. Everybody's looking at you going, are you even a part of this team?
Yeah, he brought the hit stick there. Big time.
All right, so it's taken a while. I think everybody here is just impatient. They want to get the crowd rocking and Arizona's offense to get on the field wherever they are.
Yeah, these moments kill the juice in the stadium for the fans. They want to ride the momentum right now.
Yeah, how complicated can it be? All right, so they're not going to just sit around.
How about this scene? Unbelievable. How about these fans?
Can we please get a call? Okay, well, the Taco Bell Live Más student section had a moment to get lathered up. All season long, student sections across the country competing to be the Taco Bell Live Más student section of the year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more, and here we go.
Crank up your TV if you like college football, because atmospheres don't get any better than this one right now.
Utes are still down 6. Wow. And Arizona moved. I don't know how you communicate. It is so loud. And it's going to get louder.
Fans feed off of this. A defense feeds off of this. You see everybody in here jumping around.
Oh. All right. So another one of those. That's the second one of the night against the Utah defensive line.
Disconcerting signals. Anything like quick, abrupt, any shift. So that quick late shift by the defensive line that gets the offensive line to jump, that signals a snap of the football, is a foul.
They got a tight end plus 2 backs in the backfield along with the Fafita. On 1st and 5, under 12 minutes to go. Fafita handoff and a nice hole, but it closed up pretty quickly. Just a gain of 2. Jonathan Hall led the way at his linebacker spot. Karene Reed is still out, and Hall's been one of the guys. Karene Reed's one of the best linebackers in the country.
Yeah, his leadership and presence has certainly been missed the last couple weeks by this Utah defense.
2nd and 3. Arizona finally running the ball. They got a little pass happy. They've had a lot of success running it. Conley alongside Fafita. He's going to throw. Going backwards. Fafita steps up, throws, and that one is caught. What a nice job by the quarterback, Sam Olsen, for a first down, Arizona.
What an unbelievable job navigating the pocket by Noah Fafita to pick up a fresh set of downs. I love his pocket presence. He knows how to manipulate the pocket as well as any quarterback in the country. He keeps his eyes down the field the entire time. He feels the rush. He finds the open target. What a play.
No panic with the place just going nuts. Now Conley tripped up. Maybe lost a yard. Let's go down to Stormy if she can hear us.
Guys, every down, it is deafening. Honestly, I have noise-canceling earphones to hear the broadcast, and I can hardly hear you guys at times. But Noah Fafita said he was prepared for this. This is what he expected. He said coming in to this environment, a top 10 team, it's going to feel like the whole state of Utah is against us, and we are here to fight.
Indeed, it does feel like that. Second and 11. Fafita gonna roll right. Here comes a pressure. Heaves it downfield. Trying for McMillan. Incomplete. He got his right hand out there and almost made the one-handed catch. Instead, it's gonna be third down.
Oh my, what a throw. Fafita going for the jugular, rolls out to his right, completely throws all the way back across the field. I love the play call, play design. Just Teteroa McMillan just inches out of his reach.
And not only did he not catch it, but he came to the sideline after that play. So at least for a big third down, they're without their superstar. 3rd and 11. And now Arizona is going to call a timeout. Whew, the feel of this game has changed, hasn't it? Big play coming up when we come back.
ESPN College Football is presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. 19 hotel brands, 1 loyalty program. ESPN College Football is presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. 19 hotel brands, 1 loyalty program. Download the app.
Championships for this Utah program in the WAC, in the Mountain West, in the Pac-12. Now one of the favorites in their brand new conference, the Big 12. But being tested here at home by Arizona. Down 6. Wildcats have the lead, facing 3rd and 11. Teteroa McMillan, by the way, is back on the field, so that timeout allowed him to get back out there. Fafita trying to make an adjustment. Got the play snap. Pressure picked up. He got hit. The throw is caught into Utah territory. And Fafita gets up limping. Devin Hyatt, what a catch. Fafita hung in there, and a huge play down the middle of the field.
What a catch and an even better throw. Noah Fafita knows he's going to take a huge hit at the end of the play, knows it's a gotta-have-it moment for his offense, stands fearlessly inside the pocket and delivers an absolute strike down the field.
And now a quick hitter. It is juggled and incomplete. McMillan had his hands on it. That's a very rare drop for him. Man, Fafita, I don't know how his left leg and ankle didn't get torn to pieces on that hit. It wasn't a dirty hit, it just was so awkward, and somehow he hopped up and jogged down the field.
What an unbelievable play. The concentration to stand tall and strong in the pocket. That is why he is one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country.
We got Risano in the backfield. 2 tight ends are going to motion left on 2nd and 10. Arizona is in field goal range with their kicker. They are. Handoff. Risano stacked. And he lost a yard, maybe even 2.
So, Flem, you brought up a tremendous point before that play. Arizona is in field goal territory with their kicker. If they get a field goal or any points on this drive, it becomes a 2-possession game. Utah with a true freshman quarterback starting tonight, you don't want that. I expect Utah to bring an all-out pressure here. They're going to have to leave a corner on an island with Teteroa McMillan, but they have to find a way to create negative yards and knock Arizona out of field goal range.
Conley will come in the backfield, and we'll see if that's what Morgan Scalley dials up. It's just a 4-man rush. It's picked up. Fafita scrambling, throws deep, end zone, caught, touchdown, Kean Burnett. Another amazing throw by Fafita on the run to the back of the end zone for 35 yards. And Rice Eccles has gone silent.
Are you kidding me? What a play by the redshirt sophomore Noah Fafita, showing why he was the Pac-12 freshman offensive player of the year a season ago. He's had some doubters out there the past couple weeks. He hasn't been his normal self, but he went into the bye, got back to his fundamentals, back to his technique, and put an absolute dagger into Utah with that last throw.
I'm sort of surprised they didn't go for 2, but that is a small side story to what was an amazing sequence. The huge play down the field on 3rd down with the place going nuts, and then a long 3rd down for the touchdown. Arizona just a few minutes away from a huge upset win. Well, Utah hasn't lost to an unranked team here since 2017. They last won a game when trailing entering the fourth quarter back in 2018. That's amazing. Think of all the wins they've had since then. But they have not been a program that's been built on coming from behind. They got to do it here tonight. 8:13 to go, and they're down 13 as Arizona kicks it deep and through the end zone after two of the great throws, considering the circumstance, Brock, that you'll ever see.
I couldn't agree more. This is big time, big league football. The first one's on a 3rd and long. Noah Fafita standing tall and strong in the pocket, getting a huge play down the field for his team. Fresh set of downs, which led to this unbelievable touchdown pass to put the Wildcats up 2 possessions here midway through the fourth quarter.
I mean, this play's going berserk. 3rd and 11 for 41, 3rd and 11 for 35. Amazing. Stormy?
And he celebrated, don't get me wrong, after the touchdown. He was feeling it. But what did we hear from Dino Babers this week? That he is as professional as they come. He is all business. And as soon as he got back to his seat on the sideline, he was diving right back into the tape.
Play fake. Wilson is going down. Swallowed up by Isaiah Johnson. And a big sack on the first play of the drive for Utah. Arizona almost said to us, Brock, just to follow up on Stormy's point, they want Noah Fafita to have more fun. Like, dude, you can enjoy, like, how good you are.
Yeah. But you know what? That's what makes Noah Fafita so good. That he goes about every single day like a pro. He has a routine. He has an extremely high work ethic.
Those were just 2 all-time plays.
As good as I've ever seen. Unbelievable throws.
2nd and 15. Utah running out of time. That throw low, and so it'll get 5 or 6, maybe even 7 yards to Money Parks. But 3rd down coming here. Utah's going to have to, I would assume, go for it if they don't get it.
No question, Flem. This is definitely 4-down territory. And because of that, the entire playbook's at your disposal, right? You can throw the football anywhere you want on the field. If I'm the offensive coordinator here, I'm going to get this football out of Isaac Wilson's hand quickly. I'm expecting Arizona to bring some pressure, try to force the young quarterback making his 3rd career start into a quick decision, throw some quick game, make it 4th and manageable.
Wilson, here comes the pressure, picked up briefly and knocked away. Another one. Takario Davis has done it again. It's 4th down, and with it 4th and 9, they're not going to go for it. That has been one of the stories of the game.
Well, give Arizona a lot of credits. Just like I just said, they brought pressure from the 2nd level. They wanted to force the young quarterback into a quick decision. And unfortunately for Isaac Wilson, he had nowhere quick to go with the football. Those were longer developing routes. Takario Davis, you just saw on your screen, has played himself a heck of a ball game tonight.
Amazing. Fair catch on the high punt. Made inside the 25-yard line. Arizona's defense comes up with the stop. Under 6.5 to go. Wildcats lead by 13. Another reminder, next week 2 SEC on ABC Saturday games. Noon Eastern, number 11 Missouri, number 24 Texas A&M, and Auburn, Georgia. That great rivalry at 3:30 Eastern. Also streaming on ESPN+. This has a chance to be a season-changing win for the Wildcats, who really kind of just stumbled through their first 3 weeks. Last time we saw them on the field, they had a bye week this last week. They went to Manhattan, Kansas, and had their doors blown off. They lost 31-7. Tonight, totally different story. Handoff, right side, and you figure the ground game now. Got to just work the clock. Kyle Whittingham's going to use one of those 3 timeouts.
Flem, think about what's going on in the Big 12 Conference right now. Oklahoma State, 2 losses. Kansas State, a loss. Utah teetering on potentially a conference loss tonight. Arizona, 1 conference loss.
30 seconds and late.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch this conference as we head into, October, November, the meat of the conference schedule.
Utah fans, as passionate as they are, starting to run out of hope tonight. Down 13 with 6:21 to go. BYU, one of the surprising teams, I think, in the country. They went down to Baylor today and got off to a huge lead. Had to hang on for dear life, but BYU's 5-0.
BYU, don't forget about Iowa State behind quarterback Rocco Beck, playing some great football. He has 2 NFL-type wide receivers to throw to. This conference is going to be a lot of fun. You got to remember, regardless if you have 1, 2, 3 losses, if you win the Big 12 conference, you're into the 12-team playoff with a first-round bye.
And just as a reminder, Kansas State, that was a non-conference game for Arizona. So if they win this game, this is their first Big 12 game in their history in the league. Off the timeout, left side run, and almost a first down, real close. Risano, and that now Kyle Whittingham is going to use his second timeout. That was a gain of 7 when the Utes had to be loading up for the run. And now it's almost like do or die here for Utah.
It is, with a little over 6 minutes to go in the game. Down 2 possessions. This is a gotta-have-it moment for the Utah football team. They have to get a stop. They have to get the football back to their offense. Their back is against the wall right now.
So 3rd and 1.
You know, you're talking about Arizona that last play, running for 7 yards. You know Utah's selling out to stop the run. When have you ever seen a team come into this stadium, Rice-Eccles Stadium, and push the Utes around?
Does not happen very often. So can the Wildcats get a yard? If they can, they are almost all the way there to a monster win. Fullback Luke with Conley in the backfield alongside Fafita. On 3rd and a yard, handoff, and Conley got tackled, and I don't think he got there. In fact, he might have lost a yard. So Kyle Whittingham will use that final timeout. Alakai Gilman from his safety spot.
Utah, the 3rd and final timeout of the half.
So Utah's out of timeouts, but I do think they forced 4th down.
That was an incredible individual effort by Alakai Gilman. You mentioned him, strong safety coming off the edge, unblocked, chasing down the ball carrier to force 4th and short.
So now Arizona, I mean, it would take some monster guts to go for it and try to just put the game away. So from this part of the field, they're going to punt the ball, I do believe.
Personally, yes, I am punting this every day of the week. And then some, up 2 scores. Utah is a true freshman quarterback on the other side. Got to play the field position game here. But keep this in mind for the Utah fans out there. This game's long from done. Got some timeouts in your back pocket, getting the football back. A little over 6 minutes to go in the game. Now, you have to have the ball bounce your way. Got to make some plays, but you're still in this.
Yeah, you have no timeouts of your own now after using them all, but you have that 2-minute timeout, which does, I mean, that does make a difference this year. But they're going to have to go and go real fast now. Salgado Medina, the punter, with Pittman back to receive. Punter got pressured, and a pretty short punt. Fair catch right around the 30. So that's where Arizona gives the ball up to Utah. What a night for the Arizona defensive backs.
Oh, it's been incredible. From the first quarter to right now, just making play after play. Takario Davis, what you just saw, that was a 4th down play earlier in the game, forcing no points on that drive to Utah. Davis making another play. You've had guys like Genesis Smith stepping in for Trayden Stukes, who went down with an injury early on. Emmanuel Carnley. You can go on, and all the credit needs to go to that guy right there, Dwayne Aquina, getting his secondary ready to play tonight.
Who's coached more good DBs in his college football career than almost anybody. Wilson bobbled it, and now he's going to go down. He dropped the snap, so that's going to waste precious seconds. They lose 3 yards on 1st down. That's not a very auspicious start to the drive.
No, Utah has to go here. You said it, Flem. No timeouts left for the Utes. Need to score twice. Got to be up-tempo here.
Got to be. From the pocket, Wilson throws middle, incomplete. Keithy was locked up by Jacob Manu. Well, Dwayne Aquina, we've been talking about him a lot tonight. He is the defensive coordinator. A lot of his years in college football, just a DB coach, but 3 Thorpe Award winners, 6 finalists, 12 All-Americans. He sent 41 defensive backs in his 42 years to play in the NFL.
Talk about a Hall of Fame resume, and he brings such a unique perspective to the defensive coordinator position. He's a college quarterback at Washington. He's been an offensive coordinator way back in his past. But talk about doing it at a high level for a lot of decades. No one's done it better than him.
3rd and long for Utah. Wilson steps up, now rolling right. Wilson takes a big hit, and it's incomplete. It's going to be 4th down. And just to support what we've been talking about with those Arizona defensive backs, are 7 pass breakups, 7 tackles for loss. So that's not just DBs, 3 sacks, an interception. They have played so well. I know it's a young quarterback in there, but this is a Utah team with a lot of weapons on offense.
No question, and a very well coached and good football team for Utah. So, you know, I'm going to tip my cap to Arizona tonight. The defense really set the tone for their football team, and I think the entire team fed off their energy.
Kind of the last chance here for Utah. Wilson across the middle, and he completes it right at the line to gain. We'll see where the spot is. The initial spot was not a very favorable one. In fact, they're putting the ball down at the 38, which is not enough. They need to get to the 39. So based on that spot, not close enough for Keithy.
Going on the field, that the catch is short of the line to gain. 1st down. The previous play is under further review.
I mean, that's close. It's definitely, it was not a good, accurate spot. He's definitely ahead of where they put the ball, but I don't know if he got enough to actually get the 1st down.
I'm with you, Flem. The ball's somewhere between that 38.5, almost that 39-yard line, which is the line to gain to pick up a fresh set of downs for Utah. It's going to be close.
I mean, another good play there. Number 23 just hanging on to a tough player, Brant Keithy, and dragging him down.
Yeah, that's Carnley. Played a heck of a ball game tonight along with Tacario Davis. Both those cornerbacks just absolutely outstanding, but making another huge play for the Arizona defense. I think Keithy's going to be short.
I think he is short. I don't think it was a good spot, but I don't think he got all the way where he needed to be.
Yeah, I think he's about a half a yard short.
I mean, that's Emmanuel Carnley. He's given up, what, like 45 pounds to Brant Keithy? And he got him to the ground about as fast as you can. All right, let's get the ruling.
After further review, ruling on the field stands. 1st down, Arizona.
So they just let the call stand, and that is going to about do it. The Wildcats, amazing. 5:15 to go. Utah can't stop the clock. I mean, if Arizona gets a couple 1st downs, the game is going to end without Utah touching the ball again. And all this they've done without, I mean, that's probably their best guy. Number 2, Trayden Stukes. Dwayne Aquina said all the great players I've had, he's near the top of the list of most talented. And he's missed most of this game. Handoff on 1st down. And a tackle just short of the line of scrimmage. Arizona needs to let as much time as possible tick off between plays.
Yeah, good tackle by Alakai Gilman coming up. And you're right, Flem. They're going to let this play clock run down. They're going to snap the football inside of 2-3 seconds every snap. They're in 4-minute offensive mode here. Just run out the clock, run the football, protect the football, stay in bounds. Trying to secure a massive road victory for this Arizona football program.
Change the whole trajectory of their year. The first game they've ever played in the Big 12. Be one of their biggest wins in a long time. That's Risano, who bounced off one would-be tackler and then got back to the line of scrimmage. This is the Arizona team that last year won 10 games, had an incredible bowl win, brought most of the players back. Their head coach goes to Washington, Jed Fish, and Arizona brought most of their talented guys back.
Well, and Flem, remember why McMillan, why Fafita, why so many others, Manu on defense, why they came back? Because they said they had unfinished business. They wanted to leave Arizona on the right note. You continue playing football like the way you did tonight, going to be very happy with where you sit at the end of the year.
And off on 3rd and long. And that's the right way to play it. So it's going to be 4th down. You know, the guys who came back decided not to go with Jed Fish to Seattle. Would have been easy to go. Davis, Fafita, Manu, McMillan. I mean, the right tackle, Sabainaya, is a heck of a player.
Yeah, you're talking about 3 potential first-round picks on that screen. Noah Fafita in that conversation whenever he decides to go to the NFL, just a redshirt sophomore. I mean, you're talking about some big-time talent that elected to stay in Tucson rather than following Jed Fish to Seattle, and you're seeing the results tonight.
I think Brent Brennan's going to let the clock go all the way down, the play clock all the way down to 0, then use a timeout.
Timeout, Arizona. Their second of the half.
So
30 seconds and
3 minutes to go. Tyler Loop, the field goal kicker, is getting prepared for a long kick. There is a little risk involved if you try a long field goal. Utah's pretty good kick blocking special teams unit.
There is some risk because if you miss this field goal, you're giving up a lot of field position. But you got to remember who the kicker is, Tyler Loop, and he has put on just an unbelievable performance himself tonight, making field goals from all over the field.
Tyler Loop's got about the strongest leg I can remember for a college kicker. I mean, there have been some others here recently, but
well, when he made the 53-yarder, it looked like the football was above the upright. I mean, he could have made it from 60 plus.
So this one from beyond 55, maybe officially 56-yard try to push the lead up to 16. Snap, hold, kick on the way. And that one again with just a huge leg is no good. So he hooked it and missed that field goal. Plenty of leg, but no good. And look, you got the 2-minute timeout. And maybe that gives Utah just a little bit of life. Maybe. Well, when we're done here, lots to talk about on SportsCenter. Linda and Stan getting ready from LA. Full highlights and a total breakdown of an all-time game, Georgia and Alabama. Big upset in the SEC. Latest injury news from the NFL. That and much more when we're done here in Salt Lake City. Now, Utah fans cannot believe how this game has gone. Coming off a road win at Oklahoma State. Utah coming back home. Huge crowd. And they're down to their last gasp. Isaac Wilson throws deep over the top left side, and another pass defended. Intended for Singer. It's Emmanuel Carnley again.
You know, I know what the fans want. They want defensive pass interference there on Carnley. But I will say this, the officials have called the game the same way the entire time tonight when it comes to defensive backs, wide receivers playing out on the perimeter. They've let them play a little bit. They've let them be a little bit handsy. They've called it equal both ways.
Second down and 10 for Utah. Utes do have the benefit of the 2-minute timeout. Wilson across the middle. That one is caught right around midfield. Singer, another catch for him, his 9th of the game. Utah's got to go really fast. That one sails and it's picked off, intercepted. A fitting end to this one. Gunnar Maldonado, the Northwestern transfer, who's from the state of Arizona, with the interception. Arizona gets the ball back with 2:26 to go.
What a play by Maldonado from the free safety position. Just reading Wilson's eyes. Wilson trying to put the football down the seam. He's thrown a couple of these footballs a little bit high tonight. It's been a common theme for him. Maldonado making him pay for it.
Well, Isaac Wilson frustrated. And you can understand why. He's got a lot of talent. He's got a chance to be a really good player here. But with Cam Rising missing a 3rd straight week, Utah's offense only able to put 10 points on the board tonight at home against a Wildcats team that got gashed last time they played against Kansas State. And Now Arizona's going to just try to wind down the clock. Risano with a heck of a run down the left sideline, first down and much more.
And that's the ball game, Flem.
That's it.
From this point, Arizona can take 3 knees in victory formation, best formation in football, and walk out of Rice-Eccles Stadium with a huge road victory here.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout. Arizona going to go into that victory formation when we come back.
Seems to be done.
Arizona going to put the finishing touches on an amazing win here on the road. And Noah Fafita with a heck of a gutsy performance tonight. His 2 touchdown passes. That last one, Brock, is about as good as it gets. Our player spotlight is brought to you by Cintas and Noah Fafita. The touchdown pass, that second one, plus the play before that. The numbers don't tell the full story about how well that kid played.
No, they really don't. One of the best quarterback performances I've ever personally witnessed. And you got to think about the context of the whole situation. The last game, Arizona goes on the road. They only put up 7 points. They get blown out at Kansas State, completely embarrassed on national television. You go into a bye week and you have to sit in that for an entire week, really 2 weeks before you get to play another game. And Noah Fafita showed his poise, showed his command, showed his leadership, and came in here tonight to Rice-Eccles Stadium and put on an unbelievable performance.
One thing we learned about Brent Brennan, the first-year head coach in Tucson, he can utilize a bye week.
Yes, he can. I'd say they learned some things in self-scout, made a couple changes Because I'll tell you this, through the first couple weeks of the season, this is not the offense that we saw out of Arizona. They were sputtering. They weren't in sync. They didn't look in rhythm. Fafita even looked uncomfortable. But tonight, the performance against Utah was just superb.
Hugs all around, deservedly so. I mean, that's a win that just changes the whole feel of the rest of the year. Arizona in their first game in the Big 12 with about as tough a win in this conference as you could possibly get, coming to this place to beat this Utah team.
Listen, momentum is so real in football. A win like this can create a springboard for the rest of your season. Momentum that can't be stopped. Keep an eye on Arizona as we move through October and November.
And how about that? You go back over the last 20 years. 9th win as an unranked team against a team in the top 10. Nobody's had more than the Arizona Wildcats over the last 2 decades. Maybe we should have seen it coming.